Welcome to a corporate time with Tom and Dan. I'm Tom.
I'm Scott Weiland.
Kenny's on the line.
Yeah.
How you doing, Kenny?
What's up, Kenny?
I thought we were going to sing some Sublime. Oh, yeah.
Oh, Kenny's coming out. It is we're taping on what we call around the studio Karaoke Thursday, where in between segments, Sam and I, and you can watch this live on Twitch, twitch.tv/Tom and Dan Live, we'll pull up karaoke songs while we're waiting for guests or, going to the bathroom or getting drinks.
Tom's looking at his phone.
Yeah, Tom's figuring out how to spin more plates. We will sing songs to try and make the plates fall.
You know what? When I'm looking at my phone, we should refer to it as getting business done. Because
sometimes I think it's what you do because your brain is stopped. Follow me with this. I think you have no thoughts going on in there, and you'll just go, I have no thoughts. Better look at my phone.
No.
That's what I think you do.
It's because my ADD brain is rolling through 1,000 things that I need to do, and then
you gotta up the Adderall.
And then I start it starts
does
to
the
kick
Adderall
in.
help the ADD, or does it just make it go faster?
It's supposed to help.
I think it makes mine go faster.
I think it makes yours go faster.
It gives it meth.
Yeah.
Which
It's
He
like-
needs his phone to have as many tabs open as his brain has.
yeah, that's kind of it, Kenny. And then so when I'm looking at my phone, I'm always doing something. I'm not distracting myself. I'm not looking at nonsense.
I don't think you are. I think you're doing real
reading
work. It just
emails
does
or-
seem like you're in a like you're hung. You're like
Yeah, because
and then you're back.
yeah.
It seems like it's like a little.
I start running through an idea or like, oh, I need to do this or whatever. So it's like I stop. I can't do two things. I can't pay attention to someone talking to me
You
and
also
do something.
don't appear to be breathing, which is how I play FIFA on Xbox. Is when I've got the ball and I'm about to score. My wife has said, "Stop holding your breath," because I'll be like, I'm just doing it with no breath.
I do stop breathing like I have sleep apnea.
Yeah, it looks as you, and then you'll be like,
It's think apnea.
"Okay, we can go now."
I have thought apnea.
Kenny, welcome to the show. This is our friend Kenny. He calls in to just kind of. Most of our bits now are just friends of the show that call in. We just catch up with them.
No, hold on. Is Kenny do the game show? I forgot what Kenny
Well, that
does.
was originally his bit. He was like game show Kenny. He would call in and then give us a story about something he'd auditioned for, whether it be a game show or I don't know, a quiz bowl of some sort. So, what do you have for us today, Kenny?
Oh, yeah. So quick side note, I often play FIFA while listening to you guys. And when your BDM show is playing, because I use an Xbox, my Connect picks up when you're cursing, and I will often get yellow and red cards because of your show, because it thinks that I'm like cursing at the ref whenever stuff happens.
I don't like that aspect of FIFA.
They took it away because I don't have any mics on my Xbox anymore. You used to be able to curse and they'd hear it.
Yeah, that's what Kenny was talking
mine
about.
doesn't. Yeah, I got rid of that. I got.
But it's all based on your show, because I don't get mad at the video games. Like I'm not that sort of player. But then you guys are just like cursing it up on your BDM shows, and then the ref gives me a yellow card.
Well, it used to be if you even yelled playing FIFA. Like if you raised your voice, it would be like, "Oh, I mean, it looks like the ref's going to talk to him for a minute." And I'm glad I don't have to deal with that anymore.
I'm just going to go back to the original email when Kenny wanted to do this bit and pick one of the stories.
Okay.
I like that. That's a
gave
good
us.
producer.
Yeah,
Keeps us on.
I like that. Yeah,
Yeah.
that's good.
This one's intriguing.
Can I explain what just happened? I saw Samantha reach into her purse and pull out her producing manual and frantically flip through it to get them like,
back on
we
track.
need to do something here. We actually accomplish something.
I was literally about to start going off,
Yeah.
totally.
I was gonna go rogue.
I was going to talk about the 10th president.
Yeah.
What?
And I was going to like cleverly try to move my right leg all the way up and pull my pants off just using the big toe on my right foot. That's what I was going to do. I think I can do that.
So, Kenny, you ate KFC with Ricky Martin and his kids on a tour bus?
Ooh, yes, I did. So in
That's
my
very
concert
specific.
production days, Ricky Martin was there. And at the time, I was doing the production assistant stuff. So I actually picked him up from the airport, and then his then husband or boyfriend flew in separately. And I actually like befriended him. His husband or boyfriend was super nice. He was like an accountant in Puerto Rico, and he and I just like really got to know each other during the drive from the airport to the arena. He was so cool that I guess he talked to Ricky about me, and he
You
was
got to eat
pumping me up
KFC
and
with
said
this guy, dude. You got to eat fried chicken with this guy. He's the coolest.
Well,
What-
at the
what was
very
his
end of the
order?
night, like they needed food, and it was like 10 o'clock at night, and the only places that were open were all the fast food places. And I guess Ricky Martin's kids were there, and they were hankering for some KFC. So I had to call in like a 40-piece order for all their kids, the band, everyone else, and
Fueled
place
by
it.
KFC.
So like,
Those chicken littles are delicious.
Yeah, living La Vida Colonel.
well, and it was crazy too, because it's like, obviously if you're a fast food employee, you're 15 minutes away from closing. You don't want to fry up 40 pieces of chicken or whatever. So I had to name drop and be like, oh guys, don't worry, it's for Ricky Martin.
Well,
And,
they just thought you were crazy.
Yeah.
well, no, given the demographics of who works at a KFC late at night on a weekday, they were super excited. They're like, oh my God, Ricky Martin's going to be eating this. So they were
Racist
like
Kenny.
taking extra care.
Did you guys go to KFC or did you just pick it up?
So they were in the tour bus. I actually went to go pick it up and grab the buckets. And then when I went to drop it off at the tour bus, because of apparently how much I'd been talked about throughout the day, they're like, hey, come on in, have dinner with us. You've been working all day. And
What do you like? You
I
like a
was-
thigh? What do you like? You like a wing, a breast? You did drummies are for the kids.
Well, it was surreal too, because like it wasn't just the boyfriend that was talking to me. It was Ricky himself, like, who was sharing me, offering me some pieces. And I was, young impressionable Kenny, so I'm like, I don't want to get in trouble. I can't have dinner with you guys. That's gonna get me, yelled at. But they basically forced me in there, and I was sitting there like awkwardly in the corner. They're all speaking Spanish. I barely know what they're
Ew.
saying. But I'm just sitting there chowing down on a drumstick while, just like 3 feet away from Ricky Martin, who is going ham on some fried chicken.
Well, 2 days ago was National Fried Chicken Day. Like,
Oh,
there's a
it's
part
one of my
me-
favorite foods.
Yeah, mine too. There's a part of me that like I don't eat it really. 'Cause
I
it's-
hardly ever do either.
Yeah, it's not good for you.
No.
But like, if I about once a year, and when I eat it, I go, yes, it is fantastic. Like when you eat it, I'm like, yes, this is glorious. This is the
I
best.
don't know if I'd say that about KFC, but
Chicken is kind of gross as a protein. It's not the best protein. It's a good protein. It's a healthy protein, but fried gives it all that yummy,
delicious.
juicy flavor.
What year was this, Kenny?
I would probably say like 2012, 2011. So about 10 years ago.
Gotcha. I was.
He's since separated from that dude.
Oh, that's unfortunate. I thought they were going to make it.
I remember in the 90s when Ricky Martin first came, like it started with the Livin' La Vida Loca hits
yeah.
and everything. And then the rumors of him being gay were like coming out.
Sure.
And people were like, no way. I remember people saying like, no, he's not gay.
Yeah, this guy's
that's
a crazy.
because of like how they made the music videos.
Right.
Like he was into
Yeah.
these hot
Yes,
ladies.
I mean,
yeah,
no
because that
way.
was a nice.
Yeah, it's a glorified poon house.
Right,
Look at his
right,
videos.
right.
when it was blatantly obviously he was gay. You know
was.
what I'm saying? But it's funny because just I guess 90s 25 years ago
It felt better. Okay, here, hold on a second. Maybe
it's
I can,
like how stupid of a society were we, and how backwards we were back then. Where we were like, what? This is crazy.
You're
to us.
right, though. You nailed it. In my mind, seeing him in the videos, then the rumors came out, and then people were like, he's gay, and then people were like, no way. And I was like, and then when he finally came out, I was like, it felt better, right? Because you're like, okay, of course. Now
It's like,
it's real.
Why
Now,
are
okay,
you?
now
yeah.
it's authentic. Okay,
well,
great.
because I'm sure back then they were like, oh, you got to portray, you got to
Sure.
be the sex symbol, and then be into
did he
ladies.
hit? When did Ricky Martin hit with that
That
Livin'
was
La
That
in
was like
eighth
probably
grade.
late 90s.
Livin'
Yeah,
La Vida
late
Loca?
90s, early 2000s.
And let us not forget the follow-up.
She bangs.
I didn't like shebangs as much as shake a bomb bomb, shake a bomb bomb, shake a bomb bomb, shake a bomb bomb. That was a good song.
1999. Livin' La Vida
What was
Loca.
the one where it was like, I'm your senorita? I think that's Shake Your Bon.
Could be.
Hold on, I gotta
I
go
did
to the
Shake Your Bon Bon, yeah.
gotta go to the Spotify because that's a damn good
Great song
song.
singing. So similarly, and I didn't get to work with him, but like, I guess it's a product of the times, but George Michael coming out as gay, like, how did people not see that?
That's what I'm
Like,
saying.
Freddie
with-
Mercury.
Yeah.
Women,
Elton
women
John.
were throwing themselves over George Michael, and it was like, he's such a sex symbol. But literally every music video and every public appearance had the stereotype look. And when he came out, it broke everyone's hearts. So
Yeah,
it was
yeah.
just really odd. Like it must have been just a product of the times.
He wasn't even hiding it. It's like Freddie Mercury, like, you know what I'm saying? Like it was but because society wasn't open or cool with it, everybody just denied it or something. I don't know. It was a weird
Yeah.
time.
I like now that artists are just wearing whatever, and it doesn't have anything to do with their sexuality. Like guys will wear a dress just because they like the fashion.
Yeah,
they're
yeah.
like messing with they're messing with everyone's heads.
It just
here we
doesn't.
go.
Yeah.
Stop making assumptions about people.
Yeah. Well, now it doesn't matter.
Oh, that's a good song.
Well, you say it doesn't matter, but then Lil Nas X gets like
Right.
a world of crap for coming out.
It matters in certain communities and people. You know what I'm saying? But it doesn't matter as much as a whole in today's community.
Oh, globally, no, not
globally and society.
But it still does matter, and it was still
small towns and
It
stuff.
was still
yeah.
probably terrifying.
Of course,
I can only
yeah.
imagine. It's very scary, but yeah, we've come a long way. Man, George Michael, I loved me some George Michael.
Who doesn't?
God, that older album. It's not. I mean, it was like after he hit, right?
Mm-hmm.
He had an album called Older, I think, and I loved it. I thought it was good songwriting.
Kenny, not to go on a crazy tangent, but this kind of ties into something I was thinking about last night when I saw a BDM post about leaving a gift for another BDM
Oh, that
that
was
just
so
moved
cool.
in. And I wrote this long post. A lot of times I write this long, convoluted post, and then I'm like, I'm gonna talk about this instead of write it or whatever.
Yeah.
But I was writing that it's cool for us that the people that consume our content are like us, and I personally like hanging out with them, and like so at events and cruises and everywhere I
not
hang
hard.
out, that it's easy for me because everybody. For the most part, I mean, there's outliers and stuff, but for the vast majority of everybody who listens to the show, BDMs and stuff are cool people to hang out with, nice people, and I enjoy talking to them. And I'm like that. I feel lucky to do this job and like to hang out with the people that consume our content, right?
Yeah.
And then I started thinking, I was like, it must be unlucky, or at least a step. It's got to be a bummer to produce content for people that are nothing like you. And I'll explain. It's like if you
Give me
are
an example of
a
somebody.
boy band that
Yeah, okay.
that all their biggest majority of fans are like teen girls, right?
Sure.
And so you're like this 26-year-old dude, and 12-year-old girls are the vast majority of the fans.
Right.
And then so like at these meet and greets, you're just talking to 12-year-old girls. You're a 26-year-old dude or whatever.
Right,
You're
right.
like not in. It's not. You don't want to hang out with 12-year-old
Wait,
girls.
You can't.
Well, then I was like, you have nothing. You have nothing in common with
Yeah,
them.
of course.
You-
but I'm just
you're-
saying, like, you
yeah.
wouldn't anyway. It's just not a thing.
Yeah. So
You
it-
shouldn't. Anyway.
Yeah, you should not.
So I was like, that kind of stinks to be an entertainer where your audience is nothing like you, and when you hang out with them, you have nothing in common with them. You totally, you know what I'm saying? Like as opposed to you being like your audience and being it's so much easier
That's
that
an
way.
interesting observation. Yeah, it is.
So
like,
along those lines, funny enough, so all the different genres of artists that I've worked with, country artists are the coolest. They're the most down to earth. They're the most natural. But I think, Tom, you kind of had a point. Like their music is for people like them, so they're able to relate to the people they talk to, and I think that's what keeps them grounded and keeps them cool. Meanwhile, you have like other genres, that may not connect, and they seem to be the ones. That's why the pop stars or the rappers tend to have the stereotype of being jerks and stuff.
Yeah, because they insulate themselves with their own crew and entourage,
But there are some
and
new-
don't want to hang out with their listeners or the people that consume their content because they may not be anything like, you know what I'm saying? They have
Right,
nothing in
right.
common. They're like, these people are annoying to
and
me or whatever.
I guess you could start making music or making art, right? And then I guess you let's say originally
you don't have control over what
Thank
the
you.
vast majority
you're
of the
making it
people
for
are.
you, right? Initially, and then you put it out there, and it's brave to put yourself out there, and then you really don't have a control over who it resonates with.
But it's like you're making, like, imagine Blippi. like Blippi, he's famous amongst kids, right? This guy is 28 years old.
I have thought about that before. I've thought about like when he's just sitting alone, he's Blippi, but he probably doesn't want me or you or Sam if we met him. I mean, he's not going to be dressed like Blippi. He ain't going to be acting like Blippi. He's not Blippi. He doesn't want people to know he's Blippi.
But the people that appreciate him most are kids, and it's got to be less, a notch less. Now, I don't, you're rich, and a lot of these people, you made millions, so I guess that's, whatever.
Can I go positive on you for a second? What if Blippi has the best of both worlds in the idea that he can entertain kids and put smiles on their faces? And at the end of the day, he can take off the dumb hat and the silly glasses
and then walk around,
literally become anonymous.
Yeah.
And it's kind of cool that he can still do something that, is positive, relatively positive for kids, other than the poo-poo video he did.
Well, that was different.
Well.
I showed that to Maisie, though. I showed that to Maisie, though, because I wanted her to know who he really is.
And unless he got into it because he wanted to be famous, and then you don't get that. You know what I'm saying? Only with kids or something.
How would you feel as a parent? I mean, I guess this kind of ties into what you're saying. How would you feel as a parent if we had the opportunity to interview Blippi and he came in here and the guy said, yeah, I do that for kids and I'll always do a good job and I'll always put 100% into that to do it. But I hate it. I hate interacting with the kids. I hate the kids. I don't like it. My heart's not in it.
I would believe him and be like,
I'll give it 100% and I'll act that way, but I hate it with my heart. Would it make you not want your child to watch it?
That's what Nicole Byer said, right? When she came in here.
When she's talking about, what's the show?
That Bake Off or whatever the hell. I don't remember the name.
Nailed It?
Nailed It, yeah. She hates kids.
Well,
she finds them
doesn't matter.
If you ever seen like a documentary or even the movie about it, Andy Kaufman was the same way because he wanted to do wacky stuff, but everyone wanted was, do the taxi guy, do the foreign guy. And he hated it. So he knew he had to do it to entertain the masses, but then once he got off stage, he just hated life and just hated absolutely everything about what he just did.
Tons of people hate the characters that they portray.
Yeah, and also it was a different time where those people were so famous we can't even comprehend because there was nothing to watch. Yeah. So like everybody knew that character and only that character of him, and so that's all he got. It was the same thing with old Dynamite Jimmy Walker.
Well, Jimmy Walker. Well, I saw that first.
Cheers, Norm, and stuff. Like
George Wendt. Yeah, you and I got to see a little.
They're like, don't talk about it. I'm too famous for that.
We met George Wendt and Jimmy J.J. Walker. And both of those guys, you could see where they
got burnt out.
I'm not going to say that they were D-heads or anything like that because everybody gets a day, but yeah, they were burned, and you could tell that that something that probably started very positive had soured a bit in their mind, and it didn't mean the same to them anymore.
It was too much, I imagine.
Yeah, I bet it's completely overwhelming. I don't think people can consume or can conceive, rather, how big George Wendt's character of Norm was at the height, like at the peak of Cheers. There may not have been a more recognizable actor than the cast of Cheers, and Norm being the comedic foil, right? He's the guy. That guy's level of fame was almost unimaginable.
It's too famous where it hinders...
Sweet spot famous.
It hinders your quality of life. And I think besides from like a lot of A-list movie stars and some real top echelon actors and actresses, for the most part, everything's segmented so much that a lot of, I mean, look at social media influencers nowadays. You could make $10 million a year as a social media influencer and have 20 million followers and then walk around neighborhoods and no one knows who you are. You know what I'm saying?
Pretty awesome.
Like
But then there are other places where you're an influencer on TikTok, and then people fly from all over the country to come to your beauty shop because they like your character on your TikToks. Like, I see that all the time too.
Yeah,
so
it's true.
No, go both ways.
I'm saying you have the fans and you have the followers, but you can still remain anonymous.
You need to be like Sia, right? Where you wear the wig that covers your face.
Yeah.
Then you can walk around and no one knows who you are.
I do like that wig.
But I think...
So I was going to say, I got a quick little story. It's related, unrelated. So we're talking about like how awesome people are on one end of the spectrum. The biggest D-head that I've ever dealt with is Nicki Minaj. And I think she is super talented. I think she's gorgeous, but she legitimately has schizophrenia and a lot of mental disorders. And her handlers even tell people that. But that causes her to be such a D-head.
Seems like it breaks some HIPAA laws there.
Yeah.
Well, they probably have to warn people, like, hey, she...
Yeah, so, like, what did she...
I did not
Where's
know
her
that.
conservatorship?
Yeah, give me an example. Like, what did she do to you?
Yeah, so she'll have a writer, and she'll require pink roses in her dressing room, which is fine. I'm used to
I feel
doing
like
stuff
that's
like that.
She's
It's a
Barbie.
very easy request,
Yeah.
Kenny.
Yeah, but I get, we got the wrong shade of pink in the roses, and she flipped out, was
idiot.
throwing the flowers around the room, and
I like
Nikki. Tom and
Hold
I
on,
seen Nicki Minaj
Kenny.
live, and it was awesome.
You got to appreciate a little bit of that, just because that's what we've always heard, that how, like, divas and
she fit the
superstars...
stereotype,
yeah. Like, that's how I thought rock stars and diva... Like,
I don't want him acting like Tom Hanks.
You yell at everybody underneath you, and
I want her to
nothing's
be like,
right, and you
"Where's
smash...
Kenny?"
Yeah,
But
and...
that's what I thought. But then, like 5 minutes later, she walks up on stage and she goes, "Okay, hey, where do I need to be?" It's like, "What time is this?" And she was like super cordial and nice. And I thought, like, was this just an act? And then talking to her people, she goes, "No, apparently, like any given room, she could be a completely different personality. Sometimes she's going to be super amazing. Sometimes she's going to be a nightmare, violent person."
That sounds like a classic mental illness, something, chemical imbalance.
Doesn't sound very fun.
So...
But what
She's just very
keeps
picky.
her sane is being on stage. Like when she's performing, she's apparently the most normal she is, which is why she's been as successful as she is.
That's interesting. Although
Probably a bunch of people like that.
she's been able to relatively hold it together, because I hadn't heard any real bad controversies on Nicki Minaj. You know what I'm saying? So she must have decent enough handlers or something to keep her on track, because she hadn't had any legal problems that I know of, or had any like huge scandals.
I think they
or...
all have legal problems and scandals. But
the
it's
only
just-
scandal I know with her is like her husband is like sketchy as hell.
Yeah,
like
yeah.
with like he
Right.
kind of got popped for some underage stuff,
Some
and
weird
she like
stuff.
stood by him.
Yeah,
or whatever.
Yeah. I
Wait,
mean,
is she still married?
I thought so. I could be wrong though. It's been a while since I've done a Who's Pork.
Well, if you can do one on her and let me know, because I think she's gorgeous.
Wow. You're like
when me and Daniel saw her at the Amway,
Yeah, she's still married.
her ass was so big, and we were far away. Like we were.
Well, they'd put it on the screen. And
we were in a box,
and we were like, "What?" We were like,
but even on the stage, I was like, "What? That's not how is that real?"
We've talked about this before, but Tom and I were both looking at it, and we were friggin' mesmerized by her ass, and we just stood there and looked at it the whole time.
Yeah. It was incredible.
It was incredible.
Was it that big? And when you're standing next to her,
Oh my God, yeah. And when she's just wearing like normal sweatpants and
Yes.
just like her casual top, yeah, it is gargantuan.
You know, that used to be Tom's favorite thing, was seeing the Winghouse girls go into the bathroom and change into their sweats and then
Don't
leave.
talk-
And then as they were leaving Winghouse, he'd lean over to me and be like, "I like them better in their plain clothes."
My God.
why would you tell people that?
That's a true story.
Yeah,
I tell the
no,
truth. I'm speaking my truth. I was put on earth to speak my truth.
It makes me sound creepy.
I like 'em
I told
it-
that to you in confidence.
I like them better. That's a country song. I like them better in their plain clothes. I don't like them with the orange shorts.
I was just saying as a joke that.
Now I know you're lying.
Look at he's
Backpedaling.
Backpedaling.
It's there's
it's
something.
a joke that is 100% true.
And Sam, we're
and I
talking.
really love it.
And Sam, we're talking
dare
quintessential
you.
2005 when they were tucking their sweatpants into their Ugg boots. This guy is
Oh,
Boner
man.
City over here. This guy is Boner City.
I just made a comment
The
that.
whole chat room is yikes, yikes, yikes.
No,
yikes.
come on, Jack.
I
Oh,
like
he
them
listening to,
better in their plain clothes.
Was he listening to Buck Cherry? Telling you these
Yeah!
comments? She's a crazy man.
all right, Kenny, we're out of here. What do you got to plug? Anything?
Of course, my podcast, TwoMoose, TwoMoose.com. Facebook has a pretty decent following. I know people don't watch live, but hey, we got people interacting and chatting, and it's really cool when when you finally see listeners talking to each other rather than just the same three people, it's actually like, holy crap, we are somewhat talented.
Yeah, but here's what happens,
but
Kenny.
I saw the conversation. It was like, what's this? And the guy was like, I don't know.
I look over at Twitch and I see our viewers talking to each other, but it seems like they're not even paying attention to the show.
They're doing their own thing.
They're just having their own conversations in some sort of weirdo chat room.
They mute
while,
us.
While we just do the show for nobody. Be careful what you ask for, Kitty. I'm sorry.
All right. Well, I love you, Tom, and I can't wait for karaoke night.
Oh, it's Karaoke Thursdays. You'll get it later, okay?
You'll see.
I love you, Tom. Say it back.
No, I'm not saying it, Kitty. All right.
Okay, bye. I hung up on him.
All right.
I'm not gonna put you through that.
I
like them better in their plain clothes.
I got Kenny confused with the guy who does our trivia for a second because I was like, all right, here we go, trivia time.
I don't think we have a listener.
All white people look the same.
Yeah, they do. I don't think, and they smell like onions when they get rained on. I don't think we have any bit on this show that's good.
Wow.
Yeah.
Well, not as good as...
Because EJ's bit, I mean, I got some email. You got a really hot email about... I printed out one yesterday.
People are tired of it?
Oh, well, no, they just said yesterday was like... Or 2 days ago was the absolute worst one we've ever done.
Oh.
It's hit like rock bottom where his son is... he's literally like child abuse aspect of it. Yeah. You know, and it's just not good. And then we got Drew's trivia, which I'm ready to cancel right now. And I like Drew.
You know,
I like him.
He's coming in next time. So.
Yeah, well, I'll have to think about that. Yeah. I have to think about that.
You know what we should do?
I might take that day off.
We should just...
I don't know who's going to run the board.
Go to YouTube.
We'll let Butler do it.
And
oh, my God. I would be a nervous... I'd blow my brains out. If you think my anxiety's high, if you just told me that, there's no way I could stay calm that day.
Nothing will beat the old Howard Stern Beetlejuice and Iron Sheik bits, and we should just go to YouTube and play those for our ACD.
For our ACD.
That's the whole thing.
Tom and Dan present Howard Stern. That's a good idea.
I wonder how long we could get away with it.
That's a good idea.
I think we could probably get away with it.
I think we could do it
because the internet has made it impossible to do anything.
The internet is an ocean. It's a swamp. It's just
they never find it.
It's so grandiose now.
Like
I don't know how you find anything on the internet now.
If we just played copywritten material on the radio show,
let's go way back.
I don't think it matters.
Let's do like Abbott and Costello.
Let's play the entire Titanic movie.
Oh, man. 3.5 hours.
Do we have to edit anything? I think I have to edit something. Play Avatar audio.
No,
Tom and Dan present the audio of Avatar. I like this. All right. I think we're on to something.
I would just start playing it and see what happens.
See how far we can go.
Because like all
like
the
what
bits,
will happen?
Okay, I've been thinking about our bit. I don't want to do trivia. You know how I feel about radio trivia.
Yeah.
And this is no disrespect that this is no disrespect to any of the shows that use it to prop up their, what they're doing. But I'm just saying,
doesn't mean no one listens.
I just can't.
It's time filler.
I feel like if I get to the point where I have to get a piece of paper with a bunch of questions on it and start asking people on Twitch questions, and then my fodder is that, then I should just politely turn the off button and then burn this building down to the ground. That's how I feel about it.
Yeah, but I fantasize about how nice you show up.
Oh,
I got the daily. I'm like, where's
Question one.
Butler, where's my packet?
Get the packet with the trivia questions, you idiot.
And then
Samantha, more cleavage. Let's roll.
And he gives me the packet, and then I just go through. I'm like, segment 1.
Yeah.
Morning trivia.
I went to a restaurant and got bad service. I'm going to bitch about it. Segment 2, trivia. Segment 3,
lists.
Today is National Video Game Day. What's the most
favorite?
popular video game of all time?
Yeah.
Which is
top 100 list.
By the way, this is just a form of trivia, except we're only doing it in the room. I'm not putting this out into the air for you guys to play. This is self-trivia.
Everybody on the show start yelling out guesses, and I'll just be like, no. And then
there'll be a break before we reveal that the real answer's Minecraft. Did you know that? The greatest selling video game
Is Minecraft
is mine. I looked this all up for
of all time? Hold on.
Now we're doing it.
Yeah,
It's
yeah.
a great.
I knew I could get you to follow.
It's
into
good
this.
because that was a piece of information I did not know. What's number 2?
Hold on, let me get the list. Hold on, let me play the intro.
List
and trivia, list and trivia.
This is just a
I
way.
like her better with her plain clothes on.
Hot tub and mini fridge.
Oh, don't start that.
Oh.
I got it ready to fly.
I know.
I thought about last night. I was having vivid dreams, and there was a dream that I had where you and I rebrand ACT without telling Jack or the station or anything, and we just rebrand it the Hot Tub and Mini Fridge Morning Show, and just rebrand it
At night.
at night. Remember, we had a concept for the show, which was Tom and Dan mornings at night. Do you remember that?
Yeah.
That was one of the concepts we had. It's like Holy Moly now does Holy Moly 3D in 2D. I think that's hilarious.
Oh, God.
I think it's hilarious. Rob Riggle must have wrote that joke. I think he's funny. I think he's funny because it's just stupid.
It is a fun. Yeah,
Holy Moly 3D, and then he goes in 2D. It's great. And every time I laugh, that's how dumb I am. Dumb old man.
We should just rebrand it.
Hot Tub and Mini Fridge.
Yeah,
It just changed the whole like a corporate times like we quit. We quit.
Yeah,
They quit.
We'll change it on iTunes.
But we can just stay as we are. You know,
the
only thing we'll have to learn is they'll be like, "Welcome back to the Hot Tub and Mini Fridge Morning Show." I'm Mini Fridge.
Yeah, hot tub.
That's it.
We got to figure out Samantha's name.
We'll bring it up.
Sorry,
tomorrow.
I didn't mean to do that. But you know.
Yeah. But that's what. Yeah, but that's what it would be because that you just okay. Here's.
Are we doing this now?
Yeah, we're doing
All
it.
right.
We're doing it live. Butler, make a no spin zone hat.
A what?
A no spin zone hat.
Anyway, for women that work for your show, it's only what they look like
And their name. Yes.
So whatever, literally a description of their body.
Yes.
And then their name.
So you will be Sexy Samantha. I'm
Very
sorry.
original. Very.
Sexy Samantha.
That's
is your
how it
name.
is.
That's how it is.
And then
You can never break the code.
for Butler, it's always their ethnicity. And then-
Plus.
yeah.
So get in here, Butler. I have to look at you.
I
think I have one.
It-
What did you use? What's your name on Instagram, Butler?
It's like English tea.
Then your name is English Teeth. Boom.
English teeth.
I'm good at this.
Yeah.
I grew up in Radio 90s.
Yeah.
It's like I
You did.
I did.
You were you were a pioneer.
What if I'm the golden child, a la the Eddie Murphy movie of radio, and I just grew up?
No one's
Doesn't that
doing
kid-
90s.
Wait a minute.
Podcast
in the movie
radio.
The Golden Child, how old is that kid in The Golden Child? And isn't he still breastfeeding in that movie at like 13?
I've never seen that.
I think he does. And I think even as a young kid, I saw that and I go, whoa, that's a little old. You know what I mean? Because you do reach a point where, you're blurring the line there a little bit.
Yeah. It's fine. Do whatever you want, but it's weird.
No, it's not fine, Tom. And not do whatever you want. If
I
your
don't-
kid is like 10, he shouldn't be breastfeeding.
Listen.
Is it
it's
fine? I don't think it's
ki-
fine.
I think your kid is whatever.
Your kid's wearing a trucker hat.
That's
He
fine.
shouldn't be breastfeeding wearing a trucker
but
hat.
it's a weirdo thing to do. You're just gonna have to accept that. I don't care. But
Okay, so we've got Sexy Samantha, English Teeth,
Yeah.
and our producer is Tony Rage. Because you need to have a Spanish
Okay.
or Asian producer.
Well, he's our photographer.
Well, no, this is he's not. We don't have a photographer. Hot Tub and Mini Fridge don't have a photographer.
Yeah,
We only have a photographer once a year when we do our promo shot. The Hot Tub and Mini Fridge promo shot.
Oh, we gotta get.
We got to stand on the train tracks.
Yeah, we gotta do a promo shot.
And then
Chain link fence.
Yeah, chain link fence, and then a motorcycle parked in front of us, and then you pose, and then you put the logo at the bottom, Hot Tub and Mini Fridge on Z159 FM.
Yeah.
The Toad, and then we print these huge. They got to be really big, poster size, suitable for muffler shops.
I wish we had an awesome audio clip of a quintessential 90s producer style ad reader reading hot tub mini fridge promos.
Well, you're in luck, Tom. You're in luck, Tom. I do a lot of work around here, and a lot of it's really stupid. And I do, in fact, have some hot tub and mini fridge audio that we can debut. Yes. Give me a thumb up or a thumb down if you'd like. We'll go from mild to wild. We'll start with just the identity of the station. It's not Real Radio 104.1. It's actually Z159. So let's try this. Here's the little Z159.
Z159 FM.
There we go.
I like that.
Right?
Yep.
I think it's got the right amount of energy, okay? So we can start with Z159, a little stinger. We are Hot Tub
We're
and Money.
hopping into another full hour of Orlando's best rock. It's Z159, The Toad. Lick it and trip balls.
Right?
It's so good.
Right? Right. And then we can do these.
If you missed the Hot Tub and Mini Fridge Morning Show, then you missed this.
And then we just put something in.
That's a problem.
Yeah. So I was at Target the other night, and I'm walking around there, and these people come up, and they're like, hey, nice Crocs, dude. And then Hot Tub has the audacity to say that Crocs are not cool. Give us a call, 1-844 Hot Tub Mini Fridge. We'll be right back. This is Stained. So we can do that.
You're too good. I can't even compete with that.
We can do
I don't
that.
know what
Wait,
I can do.
I want to hear Tom try. Let's hear Tom.
I
try.
can't even do it.
Yeah,
I didn't grow up doing
Let me give you a
it.
stinger, and then you come back in. Here's a bumper for you.
Real rock and roll is back in Orlando. It's Hot Tub and Mini Fridge. Mornings on Z159.
That was you. That was you. You blew it. That was you.
What am I supposed to do?
Hot Tub?
You're supposed to come in and be like, hey, what's up? It's Hot Tub. Oh, man. Let me tell you right now about
How about that
Grape.
weather?
Yeah. Oh, weather. How about that Elsa? Boy, that really fizzled out. Do you want to build a snowman? Come on.
Yeah.
We'll be right back.
I can't do it.
We'll be right
This is-
back.
I'm out of my
Here's a
league.
blast from the past. Here's some Godsmack.
I'm out of my league. I can't do it. I can
You
do
got to
like
be able to do it.
You're out of your element.
Okay,
Hot Tub.
I phoned in a favor.
do like a Jackie the Joke Man.
I phoned in a favor, and I got our good friend Summer Aiello to lend her voice to one of these.
O-Town's #1 rock station, Z159 FM.
Right.
Your only home for the Hot Tub and Mini Fridge Morning Show and Dump 'em Out Fridays.
Yeah, a hot tub and mini fridge. Keep me cold and hot.
Yeah, we're keeping them cold and hot. That's a conundrum. We're keeping them cold and hot, baby. We're Hot Tub and Mini Fridge. So Jack will never know what hit him.
No, we just change everything.
We just flip it.
Yeah.
We just flip it in the middle of the night, midnight.
Oh.
He goes straight Hot Tub Mini Fridge. Taking over Orlando. Watch out, JRR. Watch out, everybody.
We're gonna get the branding. We'll get the shirts. We got our first event coming up July 31st.
We do.
That's right, baby.
We do.
Shark
I'll be in a big. I'll be in a
bikini. Guest judges.
Okay, so this
D-Rug.
Mike Busey.
This is getting a little
Seth.
too real, but you're serious, right? We want to do
We can get D-Rug for sure. David Jolly.
the winners. You got to say it's the winners.
Team the winners.
We'll have 14 judges on stage.
Too many. Yeah.
Too many judges.
Yeah, they are.
Yeah, the event will go longer than it ever should. It's got to go way long.
Jolly will fall asleep
14
on stage.
judges, one mic.
Yeah. It's a little crappy.
All right.
But that's how we gotta.
So we start need some hashtags.
We need to go back because everything we've been trying to do is too stressful.
too
Too much.
stressful.
We're trying to give them the best of all the.
You wanted the best, you got the best. Now we want to go to mediocre.
Everything's under.
Back to mediocre.
Yeah, everything's underfunded and crappy.
You want the worst? We got the worst.
What's funny?
Nobody gets paid.
Is that
Oh.
the amount of smiles that popped up on y'all's faces when we realized that I'd made those and we have this concept. It's fun. It is fun.
Yeah. It is.
It's
fun.
a lot more fun than the weight that we put on ourselves to try and perform every single day.
Well, it's that and to just try to do the most high quality events so we don't look trashy. I'm trying to run from it. I just need to.
But guess
put on
what?
the jean
Apparently our
shorts.
listeners like trashy.
I know.
Oh man, they
I
love
know.
it. The whole chat room is just like, yes, Hot Tub and Mini Fridge.
They want shirts. They want dog tags.
It's HTMF. It's hashtag HTMF. HTMF, not HTML. HTMF for Hot Tub and Mini Fridge. Hashtag. That's the hashtag to use.
Yeah.
And I guess we'll just start building this out. So I'm gonna work on trucker hats printed, Hot Tub Mini Fridge logo. I'm going to work on shirts. I'm going to finish some imaging here so we have a legitimate station on Z159 The Toad. That's the station.
We need a bail bondsman sponsor.
I can do that.
I got you one.
Okay.
I got a good lady. She's good.
Hey,
She's done me
she's
a
a
couple
lady.
solids.
Bill.
Yeah.
All right.
She's done me a couple solids.
We do a bail bondsman sponsor
Okay, I like that.
on the back of our shirts.
Get back to
That's the
Elias
other
Vape Shop.
Yep.
We're gonna need to reopen that. That pipeline closed, but we need to reopen it, and let's just push the kratom through.
We're gonna need a kilo of kratom.
Yeah, we're gonna
stat.
need to-
We'll sell our own branded.
Yes.
Our kratom is kratom.
No.
Hot Tub and Mini Fridge kratom. Real talk, that almost happened.
Well, that's back when I was like, no, but this hot tub
Okay.
and mini fridge could do it.
We
Yeah.
need you and I are gonna have to start doing the show with sunglasses on. Samantha and Butler will never be seen on camera ever again because you push the people that
Yes.
work for you way down. You never let them have
I'm
any.
okay with that.
Well, Butler's man on the street bits, and we'll send him out to,
But we got to change his name. Oh, English Teeth, you mean?
Yeah. Oh, yeah. English Teeth goes out.
English Teeth, the man on the street.
We send him out to Daytona, all the Daytona events, and he.
We sent him to you sent him to Black College Reunion, right? That's what you
yeah,
do.
yeah. But then we'll send him to all the rallies, everything. We'll just.
Hey, they already got a name for the listeners, the HTMFers.
Oh,
HTMFers.
HTMFers. That's
That's amazing.
Dude, this is better
This
than
is
BDM.
better than this show.
Hold on. Call up Div Up. So you got to change our
yeah,
website.
we do.
No, this is a separate company.
No, I'm leaning into this one. Let's just rebrand
Let's
everything.
abandon this one. Let's go to HTMF.
Let's do exactly what Hillstone did.
Yeah.
Yeah.
No more salads to go.
It used to be Houston's, and then they're like,
No more salads. Oh, they'll be our sponsor.
No more salads to go. It's Hot Tub and Mini Fridge.
They'll be like, not one person has showed up. I'm like, oh, too expensive. Wrong demo.
Okay, well, I hope you guys had fun kicking
we'll
that
sit
around.
on that.
But yeah, we're dead serious for that. If you have any ideas, shoot them to show@tomanddin.com. We'll get them to Sam, and we'll read them in the email section. We'll cuss and discuss them.
And I'm not joking. First event, Hot Tub and Mini Fridge, July 31st.
Johnny's.
Johnny's other side.
Johnny's other side. We're bringing back Mechanical Shark.
He's serious. He's serious.
This is
This
the
is
deal was
serious.
done this morning, and I was thinking about ways to. But we all just have to talk about
Yeah.
it. Like, who cares? We're like, oh, we should talk about this on Friday. Just talk about it.
It's all the same brand anyway. ACT is
Yeah,
AMT, and AMT is BDM, and BDM is OG, and it's all the same. But the Mechanical Shark is returning the 31st at Johnny's Hot Tub and Mini Fridge.
With
morning
a
show.
14-panel judge.
Yeah, with a 14-panel judge.
Yeah, for their Baywatch party.
Oh, God.
This is
Oh, my God.
all true.
Yeah.
Anyway, bye. Welcome back to Corporate Time with Tom and Dan. I'm Tom.
I am Dan. What's on your mind?
Speaking of 90s radio, and that
yeah.
kind of, and we joke around about it a lot, but there are two different distinct styles between the 90s radio talk show host that we made, the stereotype of the aggressive, sleeveless, sunglasses,
Well, there's different categories of that as well.
jeans with the
Because I
cross.
worked for one. He's back in town. Like when I worked for Ed Till, he was more of he was liberal then, but he was like the aggressive liberal agitating talk show host, dressed in black, smart intellect.
That is the actual original 90s radio. It just it morphed in the 2000s. It
kinda
morphed
started
into
in the-
aggressive, I'm trying to be cool, ego-driven. Because even Howard Stern wasn't ever like that, and it kind of morphed into that. You know what I'm saying? He wasn't... He was always self-deprecating and making fun of it. Like, and then it was like that Morning Zoo style turned into the host was the quintessential sunglasses, no sleeves, tattoos, Danny Bonaducci. You know what I'm saying? Like aggressive.
In bigger cities, you had a different category, which was almost like the counterpart of like what Rush Limbaugh was so perfectly doing. Like him or not, it doesn't matter. He was extremely successful at what he did, and there was more of a inner city liberal counterpart to this that like a Tom Likas or an Ed Till or I'm trying to think of some of the other ones that would do like kind of compelling, thought-provoking radio, but wouldn't dip their toe really into the fart jokes and the misogynistic stuff.
More of the political talk. But
and like like city life and like city wrongs and helping people, that kind of a thing.
And then there was another category of 90s rock radio DJ, and that
Morning Zoo.
Well, not even Morning Zoo, more of a rock. We're presenting rock. We have a morning show, but it's mostly music. And traditionally, those people were the kind of slobby, like, you know what I'm saying? Like, it's
all right.
That's what it was. Where it's like you did this job because you were into music, and you didn't really want to necessarily be the coolest guy in the room. So you wore, not to make fun of your Crocs, but like the Crocs.
He will not stop. He'll look for
He's calling you a slob. He just called you a slob.
The big
That's what I heard.
sweatshirts, and you had long hair. And
you are growing your hair out.
And there was that aspect of
really
like,
coming at me, bro.
I don't want a real job. This is like I want to be a radio slob.
I don't want a real job. I want to be a radio slob.
That's a song.
And I know music. I'm sorry.
I
but
just
it's like-
want to bang on my drums all day.
So that's a different. But then there's the cool rock radio DJ. And then it goes more into the glasses, the Harley, the Hoobastank.
That's not cool.
No, well, I was just saying, but it's that stereotype.
Harley glasses Hoobastank. What else more is there? I mean, that's like the trifecta
Wait,
of
if you have a
awesome.
Harley, you don't
Tattoos.
listen to Hoobastank.
I don't. You know what I'm saying? I'm just saying. It's that.
I
You
dip
know,
my toe into some Hoobastank, and I'm a Harley guy.
Seven Dust.
No, they like the classic rock. Most of the
Okay,
guys
no.
that if you have a dresser, you're like 38 Special or something,
And I'm not making fun of anybody. I'm just saying
Oh, I am.
stereotypes.
I'll
This is
make fun
all
of it.
stereotypes. I love stereotypes.
I love stereotypes.
Anyway,
all
that stuff makes me laugh.
it's great, and it still goes on. There's another category that came a radio.
It's dying out though, and I like the fact that we want to bring it back because I think
Somebody's got to
in 2021. I feel it's going to social media because the Barstool Sports guys are just doing the same thing. It just repackaged into a different.
Social
thing.
media is, I mean,
It's all there's only so many stunts that you can do,
right.
and a lot of them, are the quintessential. I'm paying some people. I'm giving money to like the college athletes that just you're doing grandiose stunts that get yourself attention. I'm doing boxing matches.
Mechanical Shark.
I'm wasting money. Doing ridiculous things. I'm like, objectifying these people or doing these fight videos.
I mean, a lot of the stunts that even modern day. Okay, follow me with this way of thinking. Your Mr. Beast, this guy that did the trampoline tower that we talked about last week. Yeah. These guys are doing nothing more than what you and I were doing in meetings with our morning show that we were on. I mean, your idea was what can garner the most amount of views, right? But we were thinking what can garner the most amount of attention or possibly get us on the news because that's all we had. YouTube really wasn't a thing.
Yeah, that was your marketing is you wanted to get your marketing and market your show free by doing some grandiose thing on the radio.
So in a weird way, Mr. Beast is just a really good YouTube morning show that does great stunts.
And he's got a bigger budget because it's only him
Cast of
making
characters, producers. Yeah. He's
same
not setup.
When you're working for $1 billion radio company, they don't give you any money because they're $1 billion radio company and they pinch every penny they can because that's what giant corporations do. So the only budget you have is the sponsor's budget or whatever. So everything is low rent, right? You know what I'm saying? Like the social media influencers nowadays, their budget's way higher because they're not running their company like a cutthroat corporation. Yeah. They're willy-nilly.
Their overhead's smaller.
I'll spend $10,000 on this or $20,000 on this. Now, they're probably getting better at it, but it's still they're wasting money as part of their bit.
So based on business and based on business cycles and based on what we know, we can only imagine that the vast majority of your bigger influencers will then, in time, become companies.
Yes, yeah.
And then just become exactly what they weren't trying to be originally and will be absorbed, and then we'll be back to square one until that next big thing comes around that's independent?
Maybe. And who knows, if you track, all right, what will this turn into? It's odd because it went from only a handful, and I say a handful because it's so big now, but like a handful of companies having being the gatekeeper, right? So look at radio and standard terrestrial radio. Now there's some mom and pops that still exist, and it's getting bigger actually now because like corporate giant corporations are dumping off radio stations and stuff, like eliminating overhead and things like consolidating as time changes. But back when we were doing it in the early 2000s and 90s, like Clear Channel and Cox and one other basically owned all of them. And
I still can't understand why you would ever name your company that.
they started buying up every station they could. They were limited to like 7 per market or whatever, but big corporations bought them all because that was the only content people can listen to on the radio, pre-internet or whatever. And then the TV stations, I mean, how many different networks were there? Like, you know, in the 90s there were a lot more, but let's just say like a dozen big ones, right?
Yeah.
And then that was it. And that was your entertainment. And they controlled it all. And if you wanted to be famous, you had to go through that.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? And then now it's literally exploded to everything, and any individual person can always be famous due to the internet.
Yeah, but the pieces will always somehow realign into a way for it to, you know what I mean?
So, but I don't know.
Naturally, they start to kind of, I don't even know what the word I'm looking for there.
I can't though see a huge change like there was with the internet. I think we lived through one of the most dramatic changes of human evolution. I think that is in the past 100 years or so. Like I maybe if you go back to like the advent of like medicine and
sure
things like that. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
but I'm saying like
exactly
the internet has changed so many things that I don't know if there'll be another in our lifetime like giant global
internet is
thing
the Beatles. Yeah, I get it.
It just changed how everything is done.
I don't think not this big.
So I don't know if we'll ever experience a change like this.
I was laying in bed the other night thinking about what the pandemic would have been like with no internet.
Boring.
Well,
I mean, see, it wouldn't have been. I mean,
most people would have
comparatively
just gone on living their lives without, and then a lot more people probably would have got sick.
That's what I think.
But
I think because I don't know.
The information is shared so much. Like you have people sharing this. You know, I mean, you can go back to when the hell that Spanish flu that they always compare the
1800s, wasn't it?
It's like 1800. You go back and it's funny because a lot of the same things were happening, but they didn't have the way to communicate back then, so it was like way different. Way more people died, but similar things.
Excuse me, 1918.
Yeah,
way off.
And
way off.
That's close.
Well, the 18. I got the 18.
Yeah.
That is the way that my brain works. So I'll see one thing. I'm definitely a headline guy. I'll read something. It's like it could be anything. It could be Tom murder. I'm like, Tom's a murderer.
Yeah,
I knew it. I absolutely knew it.
Speaking of a long time ago, Crystal sent me this. She sends me memes and other factoids from the internet.
Did you get the text
she's turning into her old lady?
Did you get the text from my wife last night?
Yes, I text her back.
Okay, I didn't know.
Yeah.
I didn't know if that was something you would be into. I'm trying to help him with his wife's birthday issue.
Oh yeah,
all I had to do was mention to my wife one time, and she got her computer out and just started hunting for gifts. It's amazing. She's a weirdo.
So she sent me this fact that was crazy that our 10th president, John Taylor,
Jonathan Taylor Thomas.
I guess
JTT.
I didn't even know, but he was born in 1790. And he still has a living grandson.
Yeah, there's another podcast that brings this up all the time.
He still has a living grandson.
Yeah.
That's crazy to me. Like his grandfather.
Good genetics, man.
Was the
Gotta
10th.
be.
Well, they started going back like his.
It doesn't bode well for me.
I guess Jonathan Taylor, the 10th president, had a kid when he was like in his 60s. And then his son had a kid in his 60s. See what I'm saying? Like, that's how it happened.
That's all it takes.
And
so all I got to do is have a kid in my 60s.
It's John Tyler, by the way.
Oh, sorry, Tyler. So I don't know, but that shows. Like,
and it's Zachary Taylor, right?
Yeah.
John Tyler, Zachary Taylor.
But it.
Zachary Ty Bryson. How do I know that?
it shows you like 1790. Someone is alive right now, and their grandpa was born in 1790. Look how much of change happened since 1790 in such a small amount of human existence. And then you're like, it's just, it's amazing how far we've come in such a short time.
You've come a long way, baby. Virginia Slims.
Started from the bottom.
Now we're here.
Anyway,
No, I agree with you.
Mother.
No, just because I'm saying that, it's just my defense mechanism. When things start to lull, I'm like, make a joke. Let's think about this. Who is the oldest dad in the world?
Larry King?
Well, what do you mean? Like
Who is the oldest man to sire a child?
Oh,
that's still alive? Or?
Yeah.
Well, I'm sure the easy internet search where someone, because you as a male, you can have kids at any age. Our sperm technically, it does start going like faulty a little bit.
It starts to lose its the thing on the end of it, that little wiggle tail. I think it's called a.
But I bet a guy sired a kid way past in the 80s, 90s, something like that.
This guy's is now passed, but he was an Australian man, and he had a child at 92 years old.
Yeah. So I knew there's probably something like that. So that's
92 years old.
Yeah.
That's got to be a leaky cannoli, right?
It was his 9th child.
It's
some people ego though. They're like, I must pepper the earth with me. There are people like that. I know people like that like kind of seemingly get maybe some ease in their mind, or it eases their anxiety to think that they are putting more of their family on the earth. You know what I mean?
Yeah. There is some psychological.
There is, because I kind of feel it too. Like it is very psychological.
A psychological aspect of when you have a kid, you are kind of you are eased by the fact that some part of you is going to live on.
Yeah. I want another kid. Andrea does not want another kid.
Ah.
There is a bit of anxiety, and you would think it'd be the other way around. But I can look at Maisie and I love talking about this because anxiety still, I'm learning every day. I don't know what the hell I'm dealing with here because it changes. But there is something about looking at her and being like, okay, she's pretty good. Pretty damn good. I think all right, you can die. Like it's in there, and it's always like that.
Yeah,
it's weird.
And the fact that there is you're living on through them in a weird way.
In a weird way.
I think that's ingrained into our DNA. Or
I wish I could articulate it a little bit better. Maybe I'll think about it and try to write it down. You know, like because I'm starting to get back into writing, but I want to but there is something that I get out of it's almost like that's a part of me, an extension of me.
Yeah.
And that life when because she can do things I can't do because she's, super active and I'm old, but I see her and I'm like, okay, this is it. This is good. It's calming to me.
It's what every other living being is driven to do, and its only purpose is to reproduce, right?
Right.
Because that's what we're driven by inherently.
Speak for yourself.
Who's the oldest?
We're smart enough to make our own decisions.
Yeah, we've evolved now where we don't need to keep reproducing. We have too many people on this planet.
It's not that we need to, because what we need and what we're driven to do is different.
That's a whole different argument.
And so, there are animals that literally...
Yeah, because they have to survive to keep their thing going. But what I'm saying is humans have evolved to now where I don't think most humans feel that way.
It's
the need to reproduce. Now, people may want kids just because they want kids, but I don't think it's... Do you think most people still feel that way?
No, but most people are driven by by sex and things, and I think that ties into some evolutionary drive that we have to reproduce. It's just now
or they just enjoy sex.
Yes, but we could also... But why we enjoy sex probably ties into...
It's interconnected.
Our want to reproduce, even though if we're not... thinking about the actual, I want to have a baby. I'm having sex. I'm protecting myself.
Still an act of reproduction.
Yeah.
It's not the act of.
And that drive.
I don't think it was. I think his point is it was never intended to be an act of. It was never purely this is an act of pleasure that just happens to make kids. It was the other way around. It's
it's pleasurable to us because that helps us as a species reproduce. and that was, it's like
I just like thing go boom.
it's not. I'm saying not. You're not even cognitively thinking about it. It's just inherent into us that we want to reproduce or we want to have sex, and we're just animals. That's what I'm saying. Now we're smart enough to realize to make our own decisions. Like, I don't want to do that. My life doesn't need a kid, and that's great because we don't need more humans. So I'm glad we're at this point where we could stop that if we want to and not have unwanted kids because that's
Who's the oldest mama?
That's going to be trickier.
There was a lady in her 60s that had babies.
But there are a lot of, I was talking to my wife about this a little bit, and you're finding that a lot of people are doing this and with medicine. And even though in some ways, and I think medically they will categorize you as a high-risk pregnancy or something like that, I think you're going to see more and more people just kind of do what they want.
Yeah.
And I think you should, as long as you're not injuring people and stuff. Uh-oh, it looks like Sam found something creepy out.
This says a 74-year-old woman from southern India has given birth to her first children, 2 twin girls.
Oh, 70 with twins.
74? How is that possible?
In vitro. That
would explain the twins, right?
Yeah. I would bet it would something like that.
Yeah, you're right.
And
that's gotta be like, and then
but why would you want to at 74?
If you got the money and then you got the doctors,
you feel like you're missing out or something, right?
And the doctor's like, this could probably work. Who knows? Like you're willing to take
crazy.
a chance.
You could be crazy.
Yeah.
Who's gonna raise your children when you die in 2 years?
Well, our boyfriend's 18, so.
Okay, well that's fine.
I don't know. I made that up.
If you can go through the pregnancy at 74, you may be in good shape enough to at least last another 20.
That's got to beat you up pretty bad, though,
I know.
right? Like at 74.
Oof.
Because I saw beat up my wife was at like, I don't even know what she was. 30, 28, 32? 28?
My wife's mom had her last kid, my wife's sister, at 42. And, she's always been in good shape, and it was rough on her at 42, though.
Super lean, good shape.
But, and that's pretty old. Although not so much nowadays. Like,
I have a couple friends that are at that age.
I think it starts. Your doctor starts saying like it becomes a higher risk after. I mean, definitely into your 40s, but like maybe it's shifted with modern technology, like past 45.
They still tell you like, well, I guess it depends on the doctor, but they will tell you like once you hit 30, like. You're at risk.
Yeah, well, that's just like BMI.
Nah.
No, it's not true.
It's like when you go in there and you've got like
it's like people want to rush you to have kids young.
You got the guy who's ripped, and then technically his BMI makes him, obese. You know what I'm talking about?
Yeah,
it's always like you can't fit everybody into one little box.
Well, but
everyone's different.
But back to evolution, like we were meant to have kids right when we started our periods as humans. You know what I'm saying?
I don't have a period, Tom. I don't know about you.
12 or 13, ancient humans were having kids. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So now, when we're talking about 25 years after that, our bodies are not genetically set up to bounce back as easy or to have kids that
I still
much
haven't
later.
bounced back from having amazing. Like it's just like, oh my God, this is torturous. You want to do some voicemails?
Sure.
We haven't done.
Let's get out of this talk.
Yeah, I mean, I know it's enough about the kids.
Heavy.
This one, we could do one before we take a quick break. But this one, Kenny, we talked to him a little bit earlier.
Tom and Dan and Sam and Trev. Hey guys, it's Kenny. And I know it's anecdotal evidence, but I was at a tapas place out in the attractions area, ordered some calamari for the table, asked the server, do kids enjoy calamari? He overwhelmingly said yes, that he gets it ordered all the time for kids to eat. Now, a couple of notes. It is a tapas restaurant, and it is in the attractions area, so I'm not sure if that leads one way or the other, but at least according to this server, he said that kids enjoy some calamari. All right, guys. Love you. Bye.
I did hear some BDMs talk about that they're on Travis' side about calamari. And
I still disagree.
I had one friend in Miami that their kids liked it. The rest...
I still think it's a humble brag, and I think it's a brag that you like to tell other parents to make your kid seem worldly and make you feel like a better parent. And I think that you can initially trick your son or daughter into thinking it's an onion ring or a cheese stick with the breading and the sodium that's in there. And you might get them to eat 1 or 2 rings, but I don't think they're actively going to choose it as like their yum-yums. I think that you're tricking them into trying it, and then you're lying on social media to say that they love it. It's like when you take a picture in front of the beach in the Dominican Republic and you say to everybody you're having a great time on your birthday, but you're really miserable inside and you hate your life.
Oh, we should do a who's the best parent competition.
Oh, that'll work out great.
I literally, I think I can gauge if people called in and told me about how
I can tell just based on baby name.
Like,
I can.
Just on name.
Like
huh?
how-
If you call in and tell me the name of your baby, I can tell you whether or not you're a good parent.
I'm saying, like, I think I have an accurate gauge of how good of a parent I am, and I can rank myself with our listeners and everybody that you bring up if I'm better than them or worse than them.
Mm-hmm.
For instance, like, obviously Andrea, way better parent than I am. By
She's
far.
the only parent involved.
Yeah. And
I'm not even involved in day-to-day operations there.
Yeah.
I'm purely just a figurehead of the company.
In fact, but they're parenting.
Like I am the David Moss of our parenting. I'm out there. I tell the stories. I'm the face. But really, day to day, I'm not
You just
hands-on.
Put your thumbs up. And
I
say
couldn't
whatever
tell
it
you. I
takes.
couldn't tell you the last time I saw my kid.
Christine in the chat says her kids' names are Kaya and Zoe. What do you think,
Kaya and Zoe.
Dan?
That's
Off names alone.
good parent.
Okay.
Good parent.
We have Vincent and Jackson.
Bad parent.
Oh, all right,
That's
Casey.
an easy one. That's an easy one. You spell Jackson with an X. Bad parent.
Let's take a
I'm
break.
kidding. I'm totally joking. You can't do that.
That's why I wanted
The
to.
joke is that I love baby names because undoubtedly, no matter what you name your kid, somebody's gonna hate on it.
Oh, for sure.
And I like that. I like the idea of somebody hating on a defenseless little person that doesn't know anything about anything, and you're hating on its name.
I didn't get it. Tommy and Max is about as
Those are good names.
generic
It's pretty
and
generic.
plain and
I got a little
granola as possible. No one cared. I was
got a
like,
little
all
heat-
right,
I got a little heat
that
from Maisie.
sounds right.
Yeah, I got a little heat from Maisie for the. Oh my God, it's an old name.
It is like an old granny name.
granny name.
I'd never heard Maisie before.
Yeah.
So it was unique to me.
Yeah. I put it in the category of Gertrude.
Yeah.
See, I've heard Gertrude. I've
He's
never
one
heard
of the
Maisie.
ones that crapped all over it. He's
Yeah.
like, oh my God, why are you naming her that? What, she got gray pubes? That's what he said. That was his
Wow.
joke. I'm like, why would you say that? It's a baby. man.
Terrible.
Then
That's
I
a baby.
Talked about the Hooters waitresses. All right, we'll take a break. We'll be right back with more Corporate Time. Welcome to your BDM show of the week. Tuddle's on the show. How you doing, Tuddle?
Great intro.
Wow.
I was just going to scream, titties.
Oh, I forgot to email back Vulture. Samantha, forward me Vulture's email.
You
See,
also,
that's why I always get nervous forwarding you things because you're like, forward it to me, and then I'm like, I never know if you ever respond to these fucking people, and
You also
then they get mad
forgot-
at me because they don't know.
You
that I
also
forwarded to you.
forgot before the pandemic, pre-pandemic, to evaluate and sign off on Vulture's business plan that he sent us.
Yeah. He's been on my ass about that. Like,
You didn't show it to me.
You have it in
Well,
your
no.
email.
yeah,
He
it's in your
emailed it to
email,
all of us.
man. I haven't even seen the business proposal.
He emailed it to all of us. I went through it, but you're the business guy.
Well, just give me the notes, and I'll tell you right now.
No, you got to go through it.
Well, if you went through it, you have a general idea.
No, it's a 7-point. It's 7 points. It's got subsection A, subsection B.
Well, Tuddle, what is it? You know probably, right?
He didn't look at it.
No, I mean, he's just wanting me to get out there and do some bits for you guys, some man on the street stuff to be able to promote my crappy, shitty ass podcast.
It's
that I
not.
do
No,
every
it's not
single
shitty.
day.
Why would you say that? Has Tom made you feel like your show is shitty?
Well, I mean, yeah. I mean, he always talks down to me a little bit. Like,
Did
talking
he
about,
offer?
well,
Did Tom at all offer to maybe tell his big audience to vote for you for the Orlando Weekly's Best Podcast Awards? Did he?
no, but Daniel Dennis did.
I did, but I didn't vote for you. I voted for Nah Dude
The problem is,
because they paid me money.
Oh.
if Tuddle's podcast
That's not, none
wins,
of that's true.
But it kind of devalues all of our awards, right? Because then it's like,
So you want to win this?
No, I don't really.
Well,
I don't care.
How do you
but
put
it
value
does.
on something that's priceless?
I saw what you guys did last year because the last time I was in a studio, you guys put up a piece of paper. It just said 2020 Best of Orlando.
Butler
Best
did
podcast.
that because nobody from Real Radio, who picked up all of our plaques because it actually means something to them, will bring our plaque over here because we don't really care to see them. They don't care to see us.
No, Jack.
And we don't even need the plaque.
Jack texted me. He's like, "I have your plaque," but it was during Corona.
Wow, that
They
sounds
couldn't
like
mail it to us?
sounds like he wants us to drive over there and get it. Why don't you bring it up?
Well, he's not our slave.
I'm not saying him. He's got interns and people. That's a big company. We're a tiny company.
How often do you guys meet with the program director, Boss Man Jack? I mean, when was the
crazy?
last time that you actually saw him face to face?
Oh, man.
And talked about a corporate time?
Over a year, but
Yeah, longer than that.
I'm not joking. I've had 2 email correspondence with Jack in over a year. And one was to tell him, like, hey, we're going on vacation, but all new shows are still going out, so I guess I didn't even have to write this email. And I was just like, I guess I'm just giving you the heads up just as respect, like, hey, just so you know, we're not going to actually be here live, but all shows are still done. Nothing changed.
Didn't need to say that.
Okay.
Yeah.
But
All right.
anyway,
so
doesn't matter.
So since this is a corporate time, can I
No,
actually?
it's not. We changed
Yeah,
it to
this is the
BDM. So
BDM.
now
I
it can
told
be
you.
uncensored.
This
Yeah.
is the
All right,
uncensored show.
BDM. Then we can talk
Yeah,
about
talk shit.
Then can we talk about how one of the shows at Real Radio actually was interested in kind of having me do some stuff so I can promote the show, but they had to, concur with some of the other people on the show, and there was one person that cock blocked me. Everybody else was on board.
Ooh, who
Oh, I
was
did
it?
this one time too. Here, you gotta understand, Tuddle. It's everybody in radio. Okay, think about it. You know how the business is. So it makes sense that someone on the show that is hustling, working their ass off to try to make money and to try to like get more popular, because you get in your mind that the more popular you are, the more money you could possibly make. With sponsors and things.
How many times are you going to say, man, you're supposed to be a professional broadcaster,
I know. You know.
Anyway, so
How do you think?
Of course,
it's maddening. I go back and I edit them all out too.
So it's advantageous for anybody on the show to be like, well, don't bring this guy on. He's going to take away from my reps. It's like any football player. It's
Right.
like, don't bring this tight end in if I'm a tight end.
Right.
Like,
Yeah, but it's just one segment.
Yeah, but still, like, you're.
They brought Jan on for one segment.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, I mean, how do you think that makes me feel?
I'm with you,
that,
Tuds.
Like everybody else that has, left that certain radio station and maybe has, I've talked a lot of crap as well, too, but I've...
Savannah's back,
yeah.
Carlos is back, Jan is back.
You also said a lot of motherfucker.
Get him.
You're just like me. We're no different.
Yeah, you guys are the brothers.
Mhm,
You.
I gotta-
And the third member?
I've got
The
a
third
significantly better life.
The
plan.
third member, Mike B.
You know what?
Yeah, all three of you guys come from the same cloth, big titty cloth.
Yeah.
How
Now,
big are
do
your
you-
titties?
We've hit our heads and we're stupid.
You guys are
Now-
like big titty, I was going to say Three Musketeers, but I meant Three Stooges. Totally different.
But Tom, is your life better than mine? Yeah, you got great kids, you got a great wife.
Have
Are
you
they great?
Have you seen his wife's ass?
It doesn't
I got to
seem-
really look at Soapy Butt over the weekend, and I swear to God, that thing is.
Listen, Tuddle, I fantasize
Smooth
about you having your
chef's
life.
kiss.
My freedom.
I'm like, man, if I was sitting in a trailer over in Oak Hill, like right on the Intercoastal, and all I had
Single
to do,
man.
I'd get high.
All I have to do
and
is
fish.
walk around this trailer park and eat some ugly girls' pussies.
Yeah.
I'd be an ugly girl,
I got a big-
pussy eating motherfucker. I'd be king of that place. I'd be walking around, driving a golf cart around. First of all, you get a jacked up golf cart with rims on it. Go Gators. You get a cigar. You drive around that place.
Yeah.
And any ugly girl you see, you get in her trailer, you eat that fucking pussy.
So
That's what I would do. I'd be that goddamn.
And you got
I'd
a
be-
big old carrot top.
You could be. I made a GIF of Carrot Top's ball
I
and
saw
ball
it, yeah.
falling out of his running pants, and I felt immediately shamed that I have that much command of technology. Here's another thing
and we
about
tried to put it on Butler's computer, but
Yeah.
he's got a goddamn password
He
protection.
password protected it. And I typed
It's just
everything.
Redco Media.
I typed Redco Media. I typed I hate Tom. I typed him I'm gay.
I wrote one check to Redco Media.
Did you?
Then he asked, yeah, I swear to God. But it was like 6 months ago. Then he's like, the next 2 weeks later, he was like, write it back to Trump's book. So, something happened. I'm not talking about his
He couldn't get
finance.
access to the Redco Media money.
No, his wife had to jump through extra hoops to cash the check for his rent. Seriously, I'm guessing that's what it is.
Yeah.
You're talking to Mr. Separate Bank Accounts. Tuddle, you know I get separate
It's
bank
too
accounts.
real, so I don't want to bring him in because now I was like,
Bring who in?
Butler to talk
Is he
about
in there?
British teeth.
I don't know.
English
Did he
teeth.
leave? He
He's
left.
back. He just got back.
He's not back. He's at the post office mailing out a helmet. I told him to take the rest of the day off.
Who just walked in then?
Oh, shit.
Oh
my God, he's got a gun!
Tom.
What?
Somebody walked behind Tom just a few minutes ago.
That's
so.
Wanzi.
Oh, yeah. He's here, yeah.
He's here, and Bubba Wolf
He's doing my
Wilson
taxes.
lives in our bathroom now.
So I went to my first Orlando City match at the new stadium this weekend. A lady, a woman, actually invited me.
Nice.
And so, yeah, I know, but it's funny. She is the ex-girlfriend of another host of a big podcast in the Orlando area.
You got to tell us now.
Oh, shit, son. You're banging... Oh, my God. You're banging Remy's ex-wife?
Who is it? Tell us.
I mean, well, okay, well, here, let me.
Dude, are you
Hold
dating
on.
this
I don't
girl
want to
now?
start any goddamn
I
No,
drama.
we're
We
not
don't need
starting.
drama.
We're just look. He got invited by a girl. He's just telling us who he was
and I
invited,
didn't
who he
know
went to the
this.
match with.
And I didn't know this until I did some investigating, and I saw this certain person in a bunch of the pictures, and I happened to text this person and ask him, "Hey, did you used to date this person?" Because I wanted to be, come correct. I wanted to respect the person.
Oh God, you're dating Mini Fridge's ex-wife. He's gonna kill you.
Wait, how big is the podcast?
Well, they were nominated. They made the final nominations for Best of Orlando.
Okay,
Well,
that
means
narrowed it
nothing.
down.
That's meaningless.
Well, that narrowed it down because it's me and Tuddle's podcast, and then what are 4 others?
No, there's like 12 this year.
Yeah, it's a
No,
lot.
it was 10. It was 10. But anyways, I was supposed to meet her over in Orlando, and this is how much the girl wanted me to go to the match with her. And then I ended up getting pulled over because I have my dad's truck now. My dad died 4 days after his birthday. We never renewed the tag. So I got pulled over, and I couldn't drive the truck.
Just
that
start
day.
crying.
Oh no, it's a cock meat sandwich.
Yeah,
All over
I
again.
know. Yeah, because I've already went to jail for some bullshit the last time.
You and Tom are exactly the same person. And you're wearing a shiny shark shirt today. What, are you going to the club after this?
I wore my shiny shirt today.
He did. He wore a shiny nipple shirt.
Oh my God, you guys are the same person.
Brothers. You guys are fucking cock meat sandwich
Wait,
brothers.
what color shorts do you have on, Tuddle?
I have board shorts on.
Hold on, we're the
color are they?
insane cock meat sandwich.
You're the insane cock meat
They're the
sandwich.
same color.
Oh my God!
Oh my God!
It's the insane cock meat sandwich brothers. Write that down as the show title. I don't know if I can use it, but just write it down.
But the guy, the Volusia County Sheriff's Officer, the last time I got pulled over, that was an African American highway patrolman. And, it was just for an expired driver's license. And he called 2 other African-American highway patrolmen. And I think it was kind of like, yes, we got this cracker-ass motherfucker now. And let's
It was nothing like that. It was certainly not that.
It
couldn't have been more from that. It was literally the guy.
They could have said, "We got this cracky motherfucker."
No, I did.
He's driving without so he's driving with a suspended license, and he knew it and going to jail.
Meanies on me. I did have 4 blue meanies on me before they came.
We got one. This guy's just trying to drive around his dead dad's truck and eat some ugly girl's pussy.
So they rightly profiled you.
So they nailed it.
They're great detectives.
Listen,
Put
I
you
had
in
a
jail.
prescription for them. I had a prescription.
Yeah,
even
so
though
did I, and I had a jug of them.
I was doctor shopping and slamming my elbow in a car door just to get those on a regular basis.
So how did you enjoy the match?
Oh, it was great. They lost. I think I'm a jinx now. So
No, they're just on a slide. That's what they do in the summer. Sam and I were talking about it. Orlando City notoriously in the month of July, they out.
Well, that's because MLS needs to get their schedule on the same as the other ones because they're all playing international soccer on during the summertime and they lose players.
Yeah, it is stupid that we're having to give up our best goalkeeper to Copa when that could have easily been scheduled away. You know, the rest of Europe does it because they actually give a damn about their sports.
Yeah.
It's
So
stupid. It's better for everybody if you just reschedule it around the bigger tournaments, and they don't happen all the time, so it's not that hard to dodge the bullet.
Do they not like to play nice because for whatever reason?
We're important to you. It's like, yeah, we know you are, so why don't you just schedule it around it, and then everybody's happy.
Like, it seems like if the MLS could do that, they would have because that's the best for their business. So it makes it seem like the other people are not playing, or they're like releasing the schedule after, something's happening.
I don't think they've ever attempted to do it. Because remember, when Adrian Heath was our head coach, he would complain to us about the MLS not rescheduling things. He's like, I'm losing all my players. Remember? And we would talk to him about it. He's like, this is dumb. Why don't you guys just do it like the bigger leagues do it?
Well, the MLS...
I gotta turn the truck on because my glasses are fogging
up. Where'd you... Flag up your glasses, nerd.
Where'd you deliver those plantains? I got more questions about, like, why is Tuddle driving around with a pickup truck full of plantains?
Wait. How did you know? Did I post that?
You told us the last time we talked to you.
You screamed it to us as you were leaving.
Yeah. And we were trying to...
I have CTE, a lot of
No,
head
you smoke a lot of weed.
Yeah, that too.
Yeah.
No, it's the organic farmer chick that I've been hanging out with a lot.
Oh man, that free range pussy. Come on.
But no,
tastes better.
She has this organic ice cream, lavender moon ice cream.
I bet
that she makes with the plantains and stuff, and it's actually really, really good.
It sounds really good.
Is this the podcaster's ex-girlfriend?
No.
This guy's laying pipe all over town. My God, Mario's back.
Back to who's got the better life. Like, this is a Tuddle for sure, right?
Yeah, well, you got a nice new truck. He's driving all around, going to games, taking in the single life with multiple ladies.
Like, the family and the luxury is way overrated.
Yeah, what'd you
That
do?
gets boring and fast.
I played American Girl Uno last night. That was fucking stupid.
Like, the living where you never know what's going to happen tomorrow and you don't know where your next dollar's coming from and you have different girls you're doing different jobs.
It was more exciting when I was
struggling in life. That's more exciting to you.
Like sneaking when I would sneak out of women's houses. Remember that story of me sneaking out of that MILF's house when she went to tuck her son back in?
Yeah.
And I got in my convertible and I took off. Oh, so much more fun.
Everybody wants this fantasy life of like, I want the 3-2 with the picket fence and the family and the dog.
My kid to love me.
And and that's good for a while. Then it just gets boring. And then you go home and it's the same routine over and over. And then your wife, she goes to bed.
Well, you turn to drugs and alcohol because it's so fucking boring.
You start drinking at night, but then it's like, well, what am I even doing? I'm by myself. It's sad.
Last night I wanted to pump my wife. I look over and she fell asleep. Her Kindle, a light, was just illuminating her face. And I was like, I think I can lay my balls in her head. And I didn't do that, though, because it's not.
You have a way more exciting life.
I couldn't drive over to Orlando that day to be able to catch the match, and she actually drove over and picked me up and brought me all the way home that night.
Damn.
Oh man.
Did you give it to her?
You got a big carrot tip.
No.
Yeah, I know. I've seen it. You do. You have a Mambo mega dick. You have a giant.
You got to dance in tiny shorts on Instagram and let your dick fall out like Carrot Top.
Yeah.
That'll get you
If
clicks.
I bought you a tiny pair of 4-inch running shorts, would you dance on our TikTok and have your cock fall out?
Can't do it on TikTok.
Yes, of course. Of course. Yes. I have no problem being nude at all because, like, I remember the first time because I did a lot of fully nude stunts being on Bubba's show where maybe I wasn't laying nice per se. Like, it was a little dehydrated and shriveled up, so it didn't look as impressive as it usually does. And it's pretty embarrassing to have that on video.
Like, I look my best after I ride the Peloton, and I know that sounds counterintuitive almost, but because, of the pressure on your prostate or your taint or whatever. But because there's so much heat down there, everything starts to ease up and relax and kind of elongate.
Yeah.
And so my cock and balls kind of like they get wet.
Droopy.
They get wet, droopy, wet, hangy, and then they just kind of look more impressive. So I go in there and then I try to suck in my fudge in the mirror when I'm nude, getting ready to wash after the Peloton. I look in the mirror, I suck my fudge in, and I try not to have tits, and then I admire the best I'm ever going to look is right there. That's me at a 10, really about a 3.5.
Am I the only one that gets tight ball sack whenever I have to poop?
No, that has to do with your prostate, I believe. It's all interconnected down there.
Never heard that one.
Yeah, my balls get, in the morning sometimes when I wake up, I get one ball. It's just a one ball.
Oh, you get yeah?
And it's both balls pushed together like an egg with two yolks, and then you get that lumpy brain where the skin bunches up like almost 1,000 Shar-Peis, and it becomes then it looks like a little
tight,
like a
flesh golf
like
ball.
almost like the brain of a koala bear inside.
Tuddle, do you want to be a judge at our first hot tub and mini fridge event we're doing?
Oh,
at
he hasn't
Johnny's?
heard the imaging.
Oh yeah.
Hold on.
Oh, you'll love this.
down.
Okay, hold on. Let me give you. We're working on our alter egos. We're rebranding A Corporate Time with Tom and Dan. That's going to be done. We're quitting that show, and we're starting a new show called Hot Tub and Mini Fridge. Mornings on Z159, The Toad.
Yeah, at nights.
Mornings at night.
Mornings at night.
Yeah.
So hold on, let me find. Okay, here's. I'll just give you like the. I don't want to play all of them, but I'll give you this one. This is our best one, I think.
O-Town's #1 rock station, Z159 FM. Your only home for the Hot Tub and Mini Fridge Morning Show and Dump 'em Out Fridays.
Ooh, yeah, a hot tub and mini fridge. Keep me cold and hot.
Welcome back to the big show. It's a hot tub and mini fridge. This is mini fridge. We got Tuddle on the line. He used to be our intern. He's going to come in here in a couple of minutes and shit in a bucket, and then we're going to dump it on his head. Oh, yeah. Coming up next, we get a brand new song. This is the newest from a metal band I really like. This is Ghost.
How do you like it, Tuddle?
I love it. Can I be your stunt guy?
100%.
Well,
yes,
it's you and
I would
English
love that.
teeth.
Yeah, English
Yeah.
teeth is.
Which is
Tuddle and English
Dobson. Which
I kind of like Dobson.
Dobson's better.
Dobson.
Well, Tuddle, no, he's the. I mean, the goddamn the king of this.
Yeah, you are the king. No, there will be no one better.
Yeah.
There
I'll
will.
play any character, any bit. I don't care how bad it makes me look. I cannot get any lower at this point in my life. So I'm down for anything.
I know. And that leads me to the awkward bike bit that I tried. People ask me.
Wait a minute. Did you just I think you just came up the name for the name of the bit, and you didn't even know it.
What?
You meant
Awkward?
to say, you meant to say aqua bike, but you said awkward bike, and I'm
Awkward.
like, that's
You did say
fantastic.
It
Hot tub and mini fridge awkward bike challenge.
I got one sponsor that was interested so far.
Who was it?
It was Corey from All Pro Dent.
He's more. I look at him less as a sponsor. Now,
Yeah.
this isn't a slight, but I look at him more as like my favorite bully.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Well, he was all in. He's
Yeah,
like,
he's all in.
like, let's do
Well, he's a
this.
Tuddle
I
fan.
got it. Yeah,
He's a Tuddle fan.
He got cash.
Yeah, he
and
got
so-
cash money on a barrelhead.
So I got that, but that's it. And I'm now I could I'm too afraid to breach the topic with some of the other sponsors because I don't want them to think I've gone crazy or like they don't want to be a part. You know what I'm saying? Like it's unprofessional or whatever, or that you're gonna die out there or something.
Well,
you know what I'm
I
saying?
mean,
If
you
it's like,
just lie to him and tell him we're gonna fake it.
When did you become such a goddamn pussy, Tom?
Yeah.
Like,
Oh, you are my
seriously,
bait.
Like seriously, like back in the day, like we would do anything,
Okay.
and now you have just become too business-like.
He just
too
choked on
corporate-like.
water. Apparently, he can't even drink.
listen, because back
No,
in the
you just
day I had
don't want me
nothing to
to make
lose. I had nothing to
I don't-
lose.
Okay, I don't have anything to lose, so why deny me an opportunity to be able to make money? Do you realize now that my dad is gone and I'm actually having to provide a little bit more? The government is taking his Social Security and stuff, and you don't want to see me make it make a name for myself.
No.
That's exactly what it is.
Tuddle's
You
mom
do
says
it.
he needs this bit. And Tuddle's mom was actually the one. I was talking to Tuddle the night that you apparently you pitched this high or drunk and you're not all in it. But you pitched this bit, and then I talked to Tuddle, and Mama Tuddle's all in, and basically gave him the speech of, boy, our family needs this, and you're the provider now, and I need you to get on that fucking aqua bike and pedal your dick off.
I want him to do it. It's advantageous for us because we'll get the promotion of having you, paddle down the St. Johns River in an aqua bike from Lake Monroe to Jacksonville.
Yes.
People will see it. We'll put flags on there.
Yeah.
It'll be a
We'll do a parade
good
at the
promotion.
end.
But the whole thing is dependent on giving you $5,000 after you make it, and I got to raise that money somehow. We don't have.
Take it out of our bank account.
I'm not going to give it. I can't do that to the company.
No, I know we can. There's not 5 in there. So
to float everybody's check.
It would go bad.
So then we just got to raise the money.
Charge it. Just put it on a card.
So that's the only problem. I got one sponsor that's probably got between. I didn't even ask him how much. He said he got cash $500.
He's already given a bunch of shit.
So he's got $500 into it. You need. I mean, we can. What if we raised $1,500?
500 is more than I make in a month, so I'm down.
Yeah, but you
my
can't do
God.
it. But then we got to buy the aqua bike, which I'm into.
Can we just
Too
find
expensive.
I looked, and they're the only one they make is on Alibaba. Oh, by the way, did anybody order something on Alibaba for $300? I was paying off credit
one?
cards.
No, but I did give a man named Alibaba $300. Is that bad?
I was paying off credit cards, and I was like, Alibaba, $300.
That's probably a Tony.
No, I gave him
That's what
money.
it's-
I gave the guy money, and I vetted him. He had curly shoes.
Yeah, then I was like, is that Tony? But then I was like, what do we order
Why
for
is
$300?
Tony buying anything on
Maybe the
Alibaba?
pins, the BDM pins.
Oh,
But he's
yeah.
got a guy, right?
No, yeah.
Yeah,
Maybe
his
it was-
guy's
if I
not
can
named Alibaba. It's something Chan.
Yeah, but I think
Well, if I can
maybe
get my own
the-
sponsors.
How long ago was it?
if you could get
we'll figure it out.
Tuddle, listen, I am the traditional lazy radio show host
Okay.
where I don't want to do anything.
Me either. I don't even want to do the show right now. I'm so tired because of the rain outside and the clouds.
And if you come to me and you're like, hey, I got these sponsors, they're putting up the money. If I make it, they'll pay me. You just got to mention it. I'll be like, great.
But make it worth its while, man. I
Do
don't
you
want him doing
mind-
this for $500.
Yeah, but that's what I'm saying. Because then nobody's interested and nobody will talk about it. Be like, and then it's a crazy person paddling an
Well,
aqua
it's
bike.
always
for
been a
next-
crazy person paddling an aqua
Yeah,
bike.
but if it's 5,000, then people are like, "Man, I will do it for 5,000." That's where
That's
the
not
allure.
crazy.
Well, that's where it becomes like an endurance feat of strength for money. You know, if it's $500, no one cares. Everybody's like, "This is ridiculous."
Tuddle, what sounds right in your mind, and don't lowball yourself, what number sounds right in your mind for a feasible amount of money to be away from your mom and to...
2,500.
Have you looked it up though?
It's pretty far, isn't it?
Well, I don't
What
know.
else am I gonna do, Tom? What else am I gonna do with my life? Okay, I could use a vacation down the St. Johns River, kind of like Huckleberry Finn. It would
Tom
be
Sawyer.
amazing to be able to do, and I would not have the stereotypical racial character come along with me or anything.
We could get a raft. Hold on. We could get a raft, and you could be Huckleberry Slim, and we could get
David Jolly.
David Jolly to be
We're not going
to
there.
be Black Tom Sawyer, and then we could get Midget Mac to be Jim,
down.
We're not doing any of that.
and we could reenact one of the greatest tales ever told by one of the greatest authors, Samuel Clements,
Why?
or Mark Twain, as he's known to you,
I can't.
uneducated.
If you set it up, Tuddle, we could
raft
do
or the
it.
aqua
Why
bike?
I gotta do all the work? See now.
Well,
you're
you said to
sounding
benefit
like,
you.
You're sounding like the corporate people that we used to complain about all the time when we would sit in the office and how you would motherfuck everybody. Be like, what the fuck? I'm so hungover. I'm late.
Oh, what would he say about me? I want to know what would he say about me. What would he say about me back
So
in the
he's a
days
bad employee?
when he was heavy shit talking?
Hold on. You just
no.
said I would
He
talk
would
shit
be-
about a
Yeah.
corporate office and then come in and say I'm hungover. I'm late.
And what would he say when
I
he was
did not
talking
say
shit?
that.
What would he say about me when I'd make him go get me a turkey bagel and hot sauce?
I don't talk shit.
No, he used to give you butt salad sometimes.
I bet.
He
No,
would take the
I bet he
lettuce
would.
and rub it. He would credit card it.
That sounds
right
like
in
Tom.
his butt cheeks.
That sounds
and
like
put it
Tom.
on the sandwich.
I never said.
Probably,
I
probably
never.
put
No,
his
he-
dick on my
no,
little
he-
Perry's pizzas.
No, I
No,
just
you want me
I
to be- you want me to
mumbled,
be-
"Get your own fucking salad" under my breath as I got up to get your salad.
Oh, because you're not gonna.
because I'm a
you're not
pussy.
gonna engage.
No,
Okay.
yeah.
You hate
No, you want to know
confrontation.
what he would do? He would imitate you in the office as I'm cutting up segments for the podcast because that's all I was good for. And then when Tom finally got in the studio, he treated me like an underling all the time. But he used to reenact you, and he would be like, "Yeah, Daniel can't set the faders on the board up high enough because his little arms can't reach that far."
Yeah,
away."
I've seen him do the waddle walk too. Like, oh look, I'm a little person. Oh. Yeah, I've seen all
he
of
would
that.
do that all the time.
I've seen all of
you,
that.
you don't even want to know the like when SBK was doing nights, what type of impersonations he would do. Extremely racist.
Yeah,
Wow.
I believe that.
What?
I believe that.
See, this
Does
is
Kevin know about this?
This is why, Tuddle, that people are afraid of you because they're
Because he's good at improv?
no, it's because like
He just yes hands himself into saying horrible things
well,
about you.
well, back to you got nothing to lose. They, like you live your life, you got nothing to lose. So be like everybody's standoffish because they're like, I don't know what the hell's gonna happen. That's why the listeners like to listen to you.
You're
because,
a little Elon. Like nobody knows what you're gonna say.
Yeah, oh, you're
how the
poor
market's-
Elon.
Tom, what happened? Like seriously, what went wrong?
With you?
He should be.
You should have never gotten divorced.
Can he do the St. John's thing dressed like Wario?
Can you dress like Wario?
Yes, I will do any.
But he's gotta pay for the costume.
Yeah, you buy your own Wario, but it's gonna be fat. It can't. You
Yeah, it's
can't
gotta
be
get poofy.
You can't
Big
be skinny
Wario.
Wario because you'll be
Luigi, yeah,
you'll be a Waluigi. That's his name, right? Waluigi.
Yeah.
You got to be fat more. You got to be a fat suit, and then get in a Wario costume.
Yes,
And then you got to talk like him too. You got to be like.
I will do anything and everything right now. Like seriously, like I would have been a great candidate for bum fights back in the day. Like I would have done pretty much anything right now to make a buck.
Let me ask you this: do you still talk to Ron Bennington at all?
Yes, I do. Mhm.
How is Ronnie? And
He's about to be a grandfather for the second time.
That's amazing. And is there anything that has he expressed interest in maybe helping you in some way, or is he just a puppet for Sirius now? Does he have any control around that channel, or is he just doing a show?
I mean, I've done some stuff with them, but you got to understand they've been doing everything from home. I don't even know if they're even going to let them back in the Sirius building anymore.
That's
well,
true.
a
Why
lot
would
of
they?
there are a lot of corporations just like this works. It's cheaper for us. Just keep on doing it, And then they had a year's worth of ratings to look at, and they're like, nothing much changed. Guess what? Because it never was going to change because it's inaccurate as fuck.
Yeah.
Although Sirius, they exactly know probably who. Sirius has the capability to know exactly who is listening to their signal, right? Like they have digital.
So,
Okay, I don't know. I thought it was like maybe they didn't have the capability to know exactly how many people are listening for exactly how much time.
iHeart doesn't, but I
well, digitally they do, but not on terrestrial radio.
exactly.
But I don't know how that satellite radio is broadcast, where it's like.
Honestly, I don't know either.
Do they know who every single Sirius subscriber is listening to at all times?
I would imagine they probably can, unless you split the signal in some way, but they probably know that too. Like
Speaking of iHeart, I actually interviewed for a job today with iHeart.
Really?
No way. What are you going to do?
Over the phone. Doing traffic reports.
Oh, my God. That would be so great. Dude, that
What
would
is
be...
it? What's the job description?
I tell people where there's fender benders and where not to drive. I mean, it's pretty self-explanatory, Tom.
You motherfucker. What? But I'm saying what, like,
yeah, he's asking
for 8 hours a day?
No, it would be mornings, and I would be covering all of Orlando and Tampa.
And then when they cut
and then
to
I
you,
would be back on the station that has fired me twice.
And then you'll be like,
This is Patrick Fowler from the only source for 24-hour traffic and weather, the hot tub and mini fridge.
you do that whole thing. I hate those
Do you
dumb
remember?
things.
How
Do you remember
long can the traffic report on the radio last?
Well, I'm glad that Tuddle mentioned this because I saw something last night while I was watching
you go-
regular TV that I would like to ask permission to purchase for our company. Since I'm the only person in here that actually still has cable, I was watching the hockey match last night against Lightning versus the what are they called?
Canadians.
The Canadians.
The Montreal Canadiens.
The Habs. Aren't they called the Habs?
Yeah, the Habs. Yeah,
Or
the
should
Habs.
we call them the Hab-Nots?
Yeah.
Did
Anyway.
you see Nikita? Did you see Nikita Kucherov's post game?
It was awesome.
Press conference?
Someone just put that
It's
in the medium
awesome.
group.
I told Sam to check it out. It's awesome. The guy's a real man.
he
We can
sho-
play it.
What do you say?
I'll
Tom,
pull it
he
up.
shows up.
Chugging a
pull it up
Bud Light.
shirtless. He shows up to the press conference at the end, shirtless, drinking beer and dropping F-bombs
Yeah,
just
like
left
crazy.
and right.
And they don't care. They just let it roll.
Hockey players are definitely different than other National League professional players in the fact that there is an aspect of realmanism or
Yes.
machismo or whatever the hell you want to call it, that they still like. I feel like most other professional athletes,
Well, they're allowed to beat the shit out of each other on the ice for a little bit.
yeah,
at
yeah,
least.
yeah. And it seems like they haven't really. I mean, some of them have obviously, but there's a big contingent of hockey players that are still like, you know, they don't wear necessarily the suits and stuff. They still have the missing teeth and shit. That's what I'm saying.
Yeah.
Like,
Yeah, well, a lot
other professional athletes have gone kind of corporate.
They take
because
their. I
brand
think
suit.
they also like when they're like on, they're like cleaned up and look great. But when you're playing hockey, I think they take their partials out and everything. I think
Yeah,
there
they
are-
don't get their
they
teeth
do.
fixed until after the season's
right.
over.
Why would you?
But what I'm saying is, like,
here it is.
a lot of professional athletes will show up at the press conference wearing the
Yeah, this guy's
the
no
suit-
shirt,
the
hat
suit,
backwards.
yeah. Here's a little bit of the press conference.
Yeah,
But
Nikita Kucherov.
But this
From
is
the Lightning, we have Nikita Kucherov. Media, please raise your hand if you have a question. We'll start with Joe Smith, the Athletic.
Joe, let's hear it.
Just
Let's go, buddy.
how would you describe your congratulations? How would you describe your emotions right now after doing what you guys did?
I don't know what to say. It's fucking back to back, and yeah, I couldn't sleep for 3 nights.
It's already smashed.
And, to be able to win this game is huge. Wasi was outstanding. MVP. I was telling him every day, Wasi, you MVP. You're the best player. And then they gave it to whatever the guy in Vegas, the Vezina.
He's throwing shade.
And then last year they gave Vezina to somebody else. Number one bullshit. Wasi took both cups.
He's saying that giving the best player to other
I
guy,
love
that's
this
number
guy.
one bullshit. Number one bullshit. It's fantastic.
is he Russian?
And it
Yeah.
looks like
Yeah.
he's
Big
he
time.
looks like he's drinking a Bush Light too. Like
He's actually, I believe
I think
he's
it's Bud Light.
I think he's Russian plus. Like
Yeah,
it's
yeah, yeah.
very Russian.
Yeah. That's awesome.
Which then Sam and I got into this thing last night. We're just gonna tangent in the show. We're just gonna have fun. I was talking to Sam on our group thread, and I was like, "Is there Mexican food in Russia?"
I saw that. Yeah.
And I'm like, and then she's like, "Nah, there's no Mexican food in Russia." And so I looked it up,
I said that all they have is porridge.
and that is basically all they have is really
Which is
porridge.
just a joke from SNL.
Well, it's not really a joke. It's pretty
Have you-
accurate.
Kate McKinnon's
Have you-
character.
Have you guys ever seen those commercials? It's kind of like that Sarah McLachlan like pet commercial, but it's for the forgotten Russian Jews, where you can buy a box of food and
No.
send them. Oh my God! It is just.
channel
I
is
mean,
that?
it's
Sounds
What the
terribly
fuck are you
sad.
watching?
That's so sad. Oh my God.
I also
no,
don't
it's
see
a-
commercials hardly ever.
Yeah, I
so.
just get commercials for like, well, here, back to what I want to buy. They still do this thing, and it's right after the news. So the news ends, and then they're usually going out, or either going into Entertainment Tonight and like those type of shows.
Yeah.
And there's an old man, and he's like, Orlando weather and time brought to you by, and then he's like, Heritage Bank. Thank you. And that's all he says. And all they do is they put a graphic on the side of the weather and the time. And he just stands there and he's like, Orlando time and weather brought to you by Heritage Bank. Thank you. And I was like, I want to buy that. And I want us to stand there and go, Orlando time and weather brought to you by A Mediocre Time with Tom and Dan. Thank you. Because it's funny.
It is funny, but first, probably way too expensive for
You
what
think
we
so?
do.
I want to know
Yeah.
what it is. I want to do
once
it.
again Tom taking a shit on any
Yeah.
idea that
Well,
Dan wants to do. It's
No, he's not taking a shit on it. He just already knows the answer.
Yeah, well, it's I don't know. Back to the traffic reports on the terrestrial radio. I understand. I bitched about this last time, and people sent me emails, and they're like, "I listen to the traffic reports," and this. Yes, I understand that some people still do, but we can all agree that society as a whole puts in inside their like Waze or Google Maps or some sort of GPS system that they have in their phone. They put in their address they're going to, and they hit start, and then their phone tells them which best route to take to avoid traffic live in real time.
But I'm in a bit of a different space because I have never, when we were doing MapQuest, when we were getting directions from people, when we didn't have anything digitally, I only go the route I know. Even if there's a traffic jam and even if there's accidents, I don't look for extra routes. I don't like it. Just I'm that type of person. It's like I know how to get there one way. I'll try to go around it if I can. Yeah. But normally I'm just going to go the route I know and assume that I'm going to get through it. Okay, I never listen to a traffic report and go like, "Oh shit, can't go that way." I've never done that in my life.
Well,
never in my life.
All I'm saying is the whole purpose of the radio traffic report is becoming antiquated because of phones.
Sure.
And for whatever reason, like
It'll
people
just
won't.
route you a different way.
Yeah, but it's like, what's the point? You give out a traffic report, you talk about an accident.
Well, you
how
already
many
know the
people
point.
are hearing that at the right time to avoid that road?
But you know who it's for. It's not for us.
It's for old people.
No, it's not for old people.
It's just to make money.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Its only purpose
but I'm
is
saying-
to be a point that you can sell.
But antiquated things will die eventually.
But right now, Tuddle needs this job, so...
Well, but it's like, for how long can it last?
Once again, cock blocking me to make some money.
Listen, the job still exists. I don't have any say over what the fuck these giant companies do. They're doing what they're doing. That's none of my business. All I'm saying is, how long can it last?
Shooting down dreams.
In our Twitch chat room, Semi-Monster says, happy I came across this. Great show. Hey, if you're new joining us, thank you. I'm glad you're joining us.
Tom, you don't remember. I think it was beforehand, before iHeart brought the traffic in-house. We used to have to call ahead and let them know.
Yep.
Like, they would do it, like, live straight through the board, and there would be sometimes like they would be double booked, and nobody would even be there.
You want my hot take on this? It was better when it was live because they would change the updates to reflect actual traffic. So it actually did serve a purpose in the fact that it was literally to the minute the fastest way that you could get like somebody to tell you to the masses because it wasn't on MapQuest or anything
before
else.
GPS.
Yeah, it was actually useful then. But then they decided, like anything else, to cut costs and eliminate the department, so they had to start recording it. And it's just not. It's never going to be as accurate.
Well, of course.
And and Daniel brings up MapQuest. I remember, back when I first started interning with Daniel and them, is that I would have to go out and get lunch every single day. And I didn't know Orlando that well. So I would have to get MapQuest. And I remember one time I could not find the place that they ordered food for
Big
the
fat
life
slobs,
of me.
We're ordering out and everything. We're like, you're doing a 5-hour shift. What do you want for lunch? Oh, gee, I don't know. Every Chinese dish imaginable. That's healthy.
Yeah, it sucked.
So what does that job pay? I'm curious. They have to list the pay, right?
Is this
All
weird?
right, what do you get paid, Tom?
It depends. That's a hard question. I'm not even exactly sure.
I mean, it's a lot.
It's a lot.
Yeah. I mean, I don't even know.
He won't say it in front of me because once I find out how much they make,
I'm not saying it because that's embarrassing in front of you because you'll be like, well, it's not that far off of what I make. He's running this company horribly wrong. Horribly. And it's embarrassing.
I don't want you to say it because it is embarrassing.
But then it's
six
the
figures?
mismanagement is literally
it's embarrassing in all different directions.
Yeah. Oh my god.
Yeah.
It's like throwing a tomato at Fozzie Bear. It just spreads out in all different directions. All bad.
It's a spectrum of embarrassment. Anyway.
Wow.
What type of car are you driving now, Tom? I just want to judge.
Yeah.
On what you're making.
I drive.
He also has a boat.
2018 Chevy Silverado.
That's correct.
That's it. Standard. I didn't get the luxury.
You got cloth seats, which is a
I
bobo
did.
mood when you got kids, man. My God, what do you want? Boogers in your seat?
I got cloth seats, and I got. I did get the foot runners or whatever they call
running boards.
Do you even know how to drive a stick shift, Tom?
No.
Of course, I had a WRX before
and
that.
I will say no, he does not, because I rode in that car with him. He drove
and the
it.
proof,
okay, well that's subjective. You can say I don't drive it that well.
I mean, he made it move.
And the proof that he did not know how to drive a standard is that the clutch failed over here by the boxing gym, and I had to pick him up. Because he burned that thing like
I did
burnt
burn
toast. That thing was burnt toast.
It stinks. Sometimes I burned it so bad I had to roll in the windows. It would stink so bad. I'm like, God damn! It smells like chemicals. It smells like metal chemicals.
The other day, my mom had a doctor's appointment in Orlando, and I actually wanted to show them where your studio was, and they were like, made me feel really, really bad because she was like, man, they've made something of their life. This is a real fancy neighborhood.
This is a fancy neighborhood. My goodness.
They got a Publix right across the street.
Yeah.
Tuddle.
We're pretty fancy.
I'm telling you, you can make some extra cash on OnlyFans. You need a partner, though.
Whoa, how did we get to OnlyFans?
Because I've talked about it before, and I've seen, and I know.
Do you think he can make more money on OnlyFans or more money doing traffic for iHeart?
OnlyFans.
Both of you think that?
So if Tuddle was actually having sex and doing
he doesn't even have to have sex, I don't think.
Yeah, I think he just has to jerk it, chub it up, whack it on the camera.
Dude, no, but the guy
do weird shit with it. Take requests, custom videos.
He's gonna be jerking it anyway. You don't want the girl.
Put a donut through it.
Do you have a girlfriend now? Like, are you just dating around?
No, I'm not tied down. Just dating around.
You need some sort of partner in there, I think.
I'm actually.
Because there's not
I've
enough.
actually been talking to this Indian chick from Wales quite a bit, like every single day now. The one that does some of the voiceover stuff on my show. So I'm actually thinking about making a trip soon.
How the hell are you going to get to Wales on traffic money?
How do they find moccasins big enough for an Indian whale?
What's that now?
Nothing.
Okay.
So Tuddle,
you don't show prep for these gatherings, do you, at all? You don't know where you're
well,
going
we just
with
switched
this
the whole show at the last second.
We literally came in here and then we had an idea and then we're like, complete opposite.
I get bored, so me and Daniel cannot do it properly.
But I feel it feels good today.
If we're gonna do this, let's do this. We want to go. We want to ruin it so bad that we'll just go completely opposite, and that's the way that it has to be because it can't go.
This is the way.
I've tried.
Right, so do you want to know? Do you want to know the podcast host?
I
feel
kind of do, but I don't want. Okay,
no,
hold
it's
on
gonna
a second.
start fucking drama.
How is it gonna start drama? We're not talking shit.
Yeah, but okay.
I'll just throw it out there. It's Chris from Funny to Inform.
I knew it. I called it.
From Funny Farm.
Oh, Chris Coleman. Okay, yeah. I don't think he cares. If you're dating that girl,
I know, but they kind of talk shit about me on their last show.
Oh, they did it to me too. It's fine.
Oh, I don't want to talk. I'm not talking shit.
No,
Tom was right. This is
gonna
start shit now. I got enough shit in my life. I don't need no shit.
I just want to fight. I want to get my ass.
Why?
kicked.
No,
Can you
just
find somebody to just beat me up like Seth?
Tom will beat you up. Tom's the one to beat you up. He said he wanted to beat you up before you called in. He's like, God damn it, I don't want to do that shit. He's like, watch this. He's like, he'll call in. I'm gonna cock block him because I can't beat him up.
Well, I've already offered to fight you. You've already beat my ass.
Let's do it again.
No.
Hey, let's do it at Hot Tub and Mini Fridge, the first event, July 30th.
We do need a boxing match.
Right?
July 31st.
Will you let me box women? At the thing.
Why don't you box that girl you're dating?
She's in Wales.
Listen.
Yeah, box that Indian whale.
It's it's all funny for us until I'm standing on stage and Tuddle's.
No, I'm standing on stage and I'm like, who wants to see my business partner who's way too old to be doing this? Find another guy who's way too old to be doing this, but has nothing to lose. And the crowd they want it so bad. Literally, Johnny's crying. People are taking their clothes off.
Oh, it's the best.
And they're gonna want Tuddle. They're gonna turn on you, and you know that's gonna go.
Oh,
that way.
yeah,
you know it's in the Tuddle, and then he's just punching your face.
I'm actually in shape now, Tom.
I'll full punch 100% strength.
So you won't pull any punches.
Oh yeah. Then the people.
What
boo
would you
me.
do if you got in there and Tom started pulling no punches, and you realized that he was going for the kill?
Oh, I'm not going to pull any of my punches either.
Oh,
like,
we
seriously,
got it.
This is the best shape.
This
that
is
I'm
how
in.
we get the
But
show
what's
out
in
of
it
the
for me?
sewer.
Tuddle, what's in it for me?
being the entertainer. Did you forget about being an entertainer?
He doesn't do it for the entertainment anymore.
No.
He lost the love. He only does it for the green.
No, but okay.
Glorified sellout.
Everybody in the Twitch
You call
is like,
yourself a man that wears a shark shirt.
Just do it, Tom. Stop being a pussy, and we'll do it at the hot tub event.
Whoa, don't do it in a hot tub. No.
I've seen. Listen,
Will you? No, I'm not gonna
everybody
make that joke.
says they want this.
No,
they
say it.
show up. They're happy. They're like, "This is the best ever." And then when I get out there and we're punching each other, we're out of breath. I feel like I'll start vomiting.
Well,
because I haven't done it in
it'd
so
probably
long.
be too much for me to witness. I'd probably start crying.
And then, you know,
I won't be out of breath. Like, that's the thing about it, Tom. Like, I'm on the sober living besides smoking weed.
Yeah, positive
but
vibes only.
I'm actually in the best shape that I've ever been in. All right, what about this?
I'm in the best shape I've ever been.
Okay.
You know,
All right, it's best shape versus
but I'm
it's
using,
a shape off.
But I'm using
All right,
drugs.
how about this? Close down. We oil down banana hammocks, and we we do body posing for the audience.
What if you guys just wore banana hammocks and did that Bahamian strongman stuff that I've been wanting to do with you, where I stand on your knees and I lay backwards in a banana hammock, and then we do a different series of almost like human geometric poses.
Do you understand? I do business with other respectable businessmen in
like
our
Johnny
society.
from Johnny's other side.
No, just a lot of
Who
businessmen.
has a mohawk.
Boy, like,
lost his pinky
like
in
the
a
party.
boating accident.
Lost his pinky, mohawk,
Okay,
and
Johnny
wears
will like
Crocs.
it.
He
Johnny
wears
will
Crocs.
like it.
Yeah, he'll love it.
Johnny will love it. He actually, I'm surprised if he hears this, he'll text me. Oh man,
He
he'll
sent
sponsor
a
it.
picture of me wearing a suit with a mohawk. He said, "I remember this like the back of my hand."
Johnny, I'm trying to think. Well, almost all of our sponsors will love it.
Yeah. Yeah.
And will have no problem.
They will love it. Brian Zeimel is literally, he would be so happy.
Yeah.
And he's one of our biggest.
He just wants to do good business for good people and do good mortgages.
if we ruin that relationship, that would hurt our company immensely,
he says,
would it
he'll
not?
probably say, whatever you want to do, buddy.
But I think he'd be into it.
They'll laugh at me behind the scenes. I will get no more respect from anybody.
I'll do an impression
Buddy
of Brian.
Dyer
He'll
will
look
see
at it. Brian will look at it and he'll go, look at him go.
But I know, but they'll be sad that I'm resorting back to
only
this.
when they're relaying the story to their wife, which is what I do with you.
Yeah. Daniel,
I'm all in on everything you want to do, but when I go home and I tell my wife what you're up to,
Crystal will be like, "Why are you doing this?"
Well, you tell
everybody.
You
will
trash
say that.
me to Crystal, right?
Except for all of our listeners and sponsors.
I trash
and everybody with this business.
I trash you to Andrea every night.
No, I know.
And you trash me to Crystal, right? You go, like,
yeah,
he's
of course.
crazy, or if you're
Yeah.
late or something, you're like, he wouldn't shut up.
Yeah. I blame everything that I'm doing on you.
Right.
Yeah. You do the same. But I know that's our mutual understanding.
That's a love language.
Anything that, like, you stay late, you're like, I had to do this because Tom.
But I'm really just here listening to music and drinking White Claw.
Yeah. And then when I'm stressed out because I'm hungover or I haven't done the right things. And,
like Tuddle said.
I'm late and hungover.
You just said it. You just fucking said it.
I'm like, and then I'll blame Travis first. Actually, he's been my scapegoat of everything going wrong.
He's great to have.
I'll blame
In fact,
Travis.
I say employee of the month from his scapegoating.
And then I'll be like, Samantha's getting my goat about all these things.
Well, she just likes to see you fail, and then she'll sit back and watch you spin, and that's my favorite. Because then I lock eyes with her because I can't lock with you anymore because you're spinning. So then I lock eyes with her, and then we just sit there and watch you. It's like a trash tornado.
One last stunt, Tom. This is it. This is your finale.
Okay,
this is the last
would you be willing to do one last stunt?
No.
Wow.
Because here's what I don't believe, that it's going to move the needle in any way, and it's going to actually hurt me.
You just said that your sponsors and listeners would love it.
Yes, but it's short-lived. It's like
we're all short-lived, dude.
It's like a sex tape. Like you do a sex tape.
Ooh,
let's
do a sex tape.
Kardashians.
Let's do a sex tape.
Yeah, but she started with the sex tape. Like if she did it, she wouldn't do it now. If she used it to sex
might.
Let's start.
I
with a
started
sex tape.
with Gravedigger. Now I'm here.
You should have done a sex tape.
Worst Drake song ever.
You should have done a sex tape with Gravedigger. Gravedigger sex
Dennis
tape.
Anderson?
No, Tom jumping Gravedigger nude with a boner.
All right. You start with the stunts, and then you get into the jewelry line and the clothing.
Jewelry line.
I'm just saying, Kardashian.
The
it's like,
jewelry?
You get into the reality. You know,
Next thing you know, you're selling jeans like Jenna Jameson, tushy jeans.
You use the initial stunt to propel your success. You do it late in your career.
Now
and
you're
then
selling hammocks.
Well, it's like you start selling bric-a-brac.
Yeah.
You start doing the things you did at the beginning. It's like
You can't go back.
If
is what
Kim
you're saying.
Kardashian did another sex tape now, I feel like it would negatively affect her business, but it would be popular. Everybody would see it, but it would actually do worse for her.
Well, you have to say it like this, I think. I think you have to say it would negatively affect her current business.
I don't think it would.
Because overall, it may affect relationships she has in place now, but I don't think it would affect a relationship she would have in the future because those people would know what they're up against and it would just be very popular.
It would maybe boost her popularity, but I think she like Macy's and some of our other bigger partners would probably pull back and like, ooh, like they're fine with it back in the day, but now they may be like, oh, the big corporations are still skittish about
She's
everything.
half naked in all her photo shoots already.
Yeah, but it's
cool. Tom, you lost it, buddy. You lost the glory days. It's pretty much over for you.
Well, what?
I think he wants it to be over, though, is what he's saying.
He's coming in for a landing.
Yeah.
Well, no. It's just I had to pivot to what I do because I can't do those things anymore because they're all going to laugh at you.
Well, what are we going to have? Is Tuddle going to be at our
Tuddle
hot tub and mini fridge event?
Yeah, I want him as a judge.
Can we get micro championship wrestling or something? Can we get something crazy out there?
Well, I texted Mike Busey.
Or are we all just going to show up and do a plant swap like your original idea? Oh, show a plant swap. Oh, plant swap. Because if it's a plant swap, I'll kill myself in the parking lot to make it better.
How many midgets do you think I could fight at one time?
Now we're talking. Now that's an excellent question.
Okay.
I'm going to say 7.
If you can't.
No, I think 20. I could take 20 midgets.
No way.
That's
for
a
sure.
lot of little people, man.
For sure. Mac's
buff.
And then,
I pick up Mac. I use him as a weapon and swing it around.
No, he'll be flailing his arms and climbing you and stuff.
But it's a different time. Back when we were doing stunts, there was no goddamn smartphones. Like, there was no way to record any of this shit. Yeah. It was grainy, like flip phones maybe, but a lot of this stuff was never filmed. Now, like, you do any of this, it's there's 100 HD videos on it, social media, real time. There'll be someone Facebook living everything. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? Like, there's no getting away. Everybody's going to criticize what you do now, and it's a harder environment than it was in the 90s.
Dan Paul in our Twitch chat room says little people have chimpanzee strength. I didn't know that.
Our listeners will love it. That's what I'm, and maybe I'm doing
Isn't
a
that
disservice.
who you're supposed to do it for? So you care more about making money and fuck the listeners.
I don't know.
Yeah, that's what the BDMs have been saying.
Yeah, I don't know who you do it for now.
No, I'm doing it for the BDM.
Love of money.
I'm saying that the BDMs say they'll like it, but they'll stand there and they'll be like, "Oh,
this has gone downhill."
Yeah, they're like, "Oh, I don't want."
Now we've done this in the
This
past.
is a sad.
I'm going to throw one out there that I didn't think would have this reaction, but it did. At our Real Man Fest, we did a sandwich making competition with women.
Oh, yes.
Where it started off like it was going to be okay. We couldn't get a lot of women that wanted to do that because it was obviously a misogynistic, stupid, hacky bullshit. But we did have one lady who got up there with a couple other ladies, and this lady proceeded to take her sloppers out, big swampers, long tubers,
and in between a hoagie roll,
and then was like tubing them up and down, covering them with mayonnaise, and then flinging mayonnaise and mustard into the crowd, and people looked at us as if to say, "I don't know why you're doing this. This is a mistake." Do you remember that?
Yeah.
So we've had this happen before, so we know the feeling.
And that was 8 years ago.
It was scarring.
That was 8 or 9 years ago. It's a different time.
It was scarring. EJ's in the chat room. He was there. It was one of the most disgusting things I've ever seen. If my daughter witnessed that, I would have to quit the show, apologize to her, and go and do and try to be maybe a counselor or priest or something.
Our listeners are better. I'll say better. The podcast listeners are they're a upper echelon of consumer.
Sure.
That doesn't
It's
necessarily
not novice level. It's intermediate.
Yeah. Like we get very few at the beginning. You got the people with the ankle bracelets and that just got out of prison and stuff. It was like a lot of the radio, and like there's a homeless people and radio listeners and like that crowd. That's a small percentage. There's everybody, but we don't get that.
Jail.
You don't get that crowd with the podcast as much.
Yeah, you used to get a lot of prisoners that would listen to the radio. They don't download.
Yeah, they got nothing else to do in there. Jolly told us.
They don't download a lot of podcast prisoners.
Yeah, there's a lot of prisoners that have come up to me over time that is like, "Oh, drunk, I listen to you while upstate
eating cock meat sandwiches."
Yeah. There, dozens of people that have said they started listening to me in prison.
And
while
what's
they were doing
weird is probably one of those people was with their friend as a young teen or early 20s and murdered another one of their friends in a strange either love triangle or drug deal gone bad.
I got a lot of arsonists that listen to my show.
I believe that. How's the how's the
you
hobo?
Need anybody to burn something?
How's the hobo fish camp? How are the people there? How are the characters?
It's pretty empty. They had a great fireworks extravaganza. This redneck like family reunion that they have here, and they shoot all the fireworks out into the river. So like, luckily there
Kill
were
the
no
fish!
fishermen out there. There was a domestic dispute where the cops had to come the other day and break it up. It's kind of empty right now.
Does it get like the snowboard birds come down?
Snowboarders, yeah, they love trailer parks.
No, I'm just like,
Yeah, dude, I'm staying at the hobo fish camp. This place fucking rad.
like it gets busier in the winter.
Yes, it does. It does. But there's nobody here now. Like, we have a bad buzzard problem. The buzzards are eating all the insulation off of people's campers and stuff.
Oh man, that's bad.
Getting cold in here. Buzzards must be eating our insulation. God damn it.
Oh.
Yeah.
God, this wind is drafty. This window's fucking buzzards.
So Tuddle, how's business going?
Not too well, Tom. I got one sponsor. They've all dropped.
What happened to Vapor Shades?
The guy closed down shop.
We
he
got some
actually
bad
gave the
reviews in
business
the
to
Twitch
me.
chat.
We got some terrible reviews in the chat room. Two of our listeners in the Twitch chat
They
room.
supported your sponsor.
One of them, Norm, said both of them same story. The glasses fell off their head and then broke in
half.
It's broken into two pieces.
Yeah. Who said that? Norm
Norm
and someone else.
And Chigardi, I think, said. So
Was
it was two people that said the same thing. It was like they fell off their head and then they broke in two pieces.
I blame
Sorry.
you for buying
Wasn't
that. Like we did have Tuddle on promoting
Vapor
his sponsor.
Shades,
Yeah. But that's on you for buying them.
It was Fashino, yeah.
Um,
Or it wasn't Chigardi.
My
it was
only
Fashino.
one sponsor is Starfire Transports. They will move any RV, trailer, car, any of that good stuff that you need, even drugs.
So you do ads like we do ads. I like it.
Yeah, that's
a
good.
That's a damn good ad.
Oh yeah, but when it comes from you, I'm like, serious.
I'm like, all right, drugs. I see you.
Yeah, Canadian Viagra is the big mover.
Can you buy Viagra now just over the counter?
I mean, I think we're getting that way, right?
You could do like it used to have to have a prescription for Rogaine, and now you could just get it through the mail.
I've never done Viagra. Have you?
You want to know?
No.
I've done the Canadian Viagra because this Canadian listener actually, you know what he would bring is Canadian aspirin down to me, and Canadian aspirin, they're called do's because they actually contain codeine in the aspirin.
And the Bahamas is called 222s. That's like but yeah, it's the aspirin with codeine.
I love them. They're great. I mean, it's not enough to like throw you off your game, and when you got that little kiss of codeine while you're on the air, it's amazing.
Oh, it's just enough to make it talk fast.
Yeah,
that's what I like. I like it. I take a pain pill. I'm like, ready, go mouth, go.
No,
try some Adderall and some Blue Meanies as well too, man. Poof.
I bet.
Like Fast and the Furious.
How's Mama doing?
She's doing well. She's doing very, very well.
Good. That's awesome.
She got, speaking of Viagra,
your mom got his mom's on Viagra, huh? That's a
no,
wonder
no.
drug.
Well, I sometimes like to get it really chubbed up, and I'll use her little hair ties. And I don't want to give my mom a hair tie that I've had on the base of my penis.
Oh, you have to run
so
Jeremy
I throw it away
because you're getting older. It's because you're getting older. When a man of your stature gets older, then, not that I need to tell you this, but you need a little reassurance at the base to hold everything in. Much like those pre-fillable balloons that you can buy, or not pre-fillable, but the ones you attach to the garden hose when you want the lazy balloons, when you want your, lazy dad, like Tom loves them. You put a ring on the end of it. You don't tie it. You just put a ring on the base of it to hold the water in it. And if that's any indication, that technology is sound and tested.
Yeah. Hey, Daniel, do you remember those little things you could buy from the store back in the day? It was like a little snake. And it was like had jelly in it or whatever, and then you could like stick your finger inside of it. You could turn it inside out and stuff.
It's like they're called water weenies, and it's a piece of tube.
Yeah.
That they fill it, and so there's like almost like it can roll, and you can't really hold on to it because it'll roll, but you can stick your finger in it like it's a vagina.
I've always wanted to fuck one of those.
All right, I think it's a good ending spot.
Tuddle, what's your podcast?
I'm going to go listen to your rebuttal.
Why is it even worth it? You take a shit on it. You don't treat me as a, like somebody that works in the same field as you do. So if you'd like to just check it out, search the Tuddle Daily Podcast. I really don't give a fuck.
I'm going to go listen to your rebuttal on my funning to informing rebuttal. I'm going to see what that's about.
Oh, my God. You're starting
it's
beef
Pod Wars.
now.
Yes.
Why do you start Pod Wars, man?
It started with these people.
No.
Apparently they're fighting.
Apparently.
They're fighting now.
Don't
Nothing
put
to
do with us.
That. Yeah, we don't want to be involved in that
I didn't put anybody in that. It's just, the one of the guys is moving up north, and I made the joke. I was like, oh, show's done. You guys aren't doing it anymore. And they got pissy with me because I made that one little comment.
That sounds like you were fucking with them.
Yeah. Yeah, of course. And then they're fucking back.
Yeah. That's
the way it works.
You're doing radio 101.
They waited until I wasn't there anymore, and they talked shit.
That's what you do.
Talk shit to my face.
He's got to go.
That's
the go alarm.
Our alarm's going off.
I was like, he's here. He was outside the whole time.
All right, guys. I really appreciate it. I have to piss so bad.
I was like, he's busy. He needs to get off.
Tuddle Daily Podcast.
Now, unless you want to do it with me on the, I can piss while I'm doing the interview.
I'll watch. My God, it sounds like somebody dumping out a fish tank.
Vote for him on the.
Sounds like you're frying chicken when I piss.
Orlando Weekly Awards. It's
we
on
didn't
there.
even talk about Vax That Thing Up.
What is that?
The juvenile cover
the juvenile
instead
song?
of Back That Ass Up.
Oh God.
No, it's stupid.
All right, Tuddle. We'll talk to you. If you set up the aqua bike, we'll do it.
It's all on you, Tuddle.
Yeah.
I got to do all the work too.
You're the one that's getting the 5,000.
Sounds like the old Clear Channel days.
It is.
Well, how'd they get rich? I'm just learned it by watching them. All right, Tuddle. Bye.
We love you, buddy.
You, Dad.
Bye.
There it is.
Sad ending.
I gotta go to a meeting and we got another guest.
Yeah.
She hasn't called,
No.
so I don't know.
Oh, okay.
Uh-oh.
Maybe we'll do it.
I was
wonder if
waiting
we
on
could-
her.
I texted her to see if we could push it back. Just get worst case scenario for you.
Okay,
Yeah.
cool. All right.
I can settle that up. I'll square that away.
All right.
That's a weird ending. I
Yeah.
like
What
it.
a weird BDM
Well, we decided
show.
to do
It
a
was
BDM
random.
show at the
I
last
like it.
second.
That was fun.
Yeah, it was a good show.
Yeah, it was a really good show.
Candid.
Anyway.
All right.
All right. Meetings. Bye-bye.